Hello and welcome to the UEFA Nations League goal show. It's the final day of action in terms of international football before we get into the start of the European football season, although, of course, some of the seasons have already started. And what a way to end the UEFA Nations League with some absolutely enthralling matches over the next kind of hour and a half, 2 hours. We've got 4 very big games that we're going to keep our eyes out on, as well as 3 other matches going on at the same time. So we're going to go through the lineups, of course. We're about 10 minutes away from kickoff for those games. But the 4 big games tonight, we have Denmark facing England, if you can class that as a big game. France taking on Croatia, repeat the World Cup 2018 final. Sweden taking on Portugal. There's a certain player who's back for Portugal tonight, who I think Kieran and I will be looking forward to watching. And of course, the other game, Belgium are taking on Iceland. They're in the same group as England right now, so that's a pretty game to watch, because if Belgium and England both win tonight, they'll both be on 6 points and looking pretty much already certain to go through to the next stages of the competition. So, of course, as I said before, we're going to go through the lineups and introduce everybody as we go along, ask them a few questions about their game tonight, and hopefully we can get the same amount of goals as we did last night. We had 21 goals in 7 games. Can we get the same amount or maybe more? So as I said, we've got about 10 minutes to go till the games kick off. We're going to start off looking at the lineups for tonight's games. And starting off with the main game, I guess you could say, if you're an England fan tonight, it's Denmark who are taking on England. It's going to be a pretty decent game. And as you can see here is the Denmark lineup. Schmeichel is in goal. The back 4 of Daniel Vass, who's playing as a right back, as he has done for a large part of the season at Valencia. Former Huddersfield Town centre-back Jorgensen, alongside Andres Christensen, and Skov, the Hoffenheim winger/fullback, is on the left-hand side. Midfield 3 of Norgard of Brentford, Christian Eriksen and Thomas Delaney, and an attacking 3 of Yusuf Poulsen, Kasper Dolberg, and of course, Martin Braithwaite of Barcelona. Then England's lineup. It's a 3 at the back today. We've got Jordan Pickford, who stays in goal. We have Eric Dyer, Connor Cody, and Joe Gomez at the back. Midfield 4, you could say, turn into back 5 at times, potentially. Kieran Trippier on the left-hand side, Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side, and then the midfield 2 of Calvin Phillips and Rice, of course, first start tonight for Calvin Phillips of Leeds United. And then up top, the front 3 of Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane in the middle, and Jadon Sancho on the left-hand side. So a fairly strong attack. Very interesting to see what's going to happen in midfield tonight. Of course, Calvin Phillips with his first start. Connor Cody's first start as well. So congratulations to them both. Of course, Connor Cody, very suited to a 3 at the back formation. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes tonight. Of course, England haven't played 3 at the back for quite some time. So that's the first game of the night. Denmark taking on England. That'll be the game that I'm watching tonight. Let's hope it's just a little bit better than the game against Iceland. The other match tonight that's going on in the group as well is Belgium, who are taking on Iceland. And to watch that game tonight, hopefully there'll be some goals in that one. It's KD. How are we doing, buddy?
Yeah, I just don't want another 1-0, to be honest.
Oh, hopefully not. I mean, looking at this lineup right now, it's a strong lineup for Belgium tonight. A couple of different players in there. Castells is in goal. He was in goal in the previous match. Back 4 of Meunier of Borussia Dortmund, Alderweireld, Jason Denayer, and Jan Vertonghen at left back. Now, of course, a Benfica player. Midfield 3 of Witsel, De Bruyne, and Thorgan Hazard, not Eden Hazard. And then up top in the front 3, Mertens on the left-hand side, Michy Batshuayi in the middle, and Jeremy Doku, the youngster of Anderlecht, on the right-hand side. As for Iceland tonight, they're going for a 4-4-2. Christiansen is in goal. Skulason, Fodjelason, Eljolfsson and Hermansen in the back 4. Midfield 4 of Bjarnason, who missed that penalty, of course, against England a few days ago. Palsson, Baldursson, and Sigurdsson, that is, of course, isn't Gulf Sigurdsson on the left-hand side. And then up top, Fridtjonsson and Gudmundsson, who didn't start in that previous game. When you look at the lineups, KD, you would probably expect Belgium to go out and win tonight's game, but do you think it's going to be a walk in the park for them?
Well, when I watched the game the other day, it was anything but that. I know they were 2-0 winners, but they were less than convincing. Denmark should have really scored 2 or 3. Squandered a lot of chances. Belgium were very poor at the back, especially playing out from the back. Simon Mignolet on the ball was absolutely awful. Give the ball away 3 or 4 times. They need a better performance, and of course, if England do win today, they'll need to keep up with them, because they wouldn't want us to run away with the group. Of course, they're probably one of the favourites to win the competition.
Completely agree with you. As I said before, if both teams do win tonight, England and Belgium, they'll both be on 6 points after 2 matches, puts them in a great position, of course, to go through to the next stages of the UEFA Nations League. So thank you very much, Katie. Bring you back in a moment. That is the Belgium and Iceland game going on, which kicks off in about 5 minutes' time. We move on to the next game, Sweden take on Portugal. And to watch that game, I already said before, KL is going to be watching that game tonight. Welcome, KL. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Very well, thank you very much. As you can see on the screen, here are the lineups for tonight's game between Sweden and Portugal. It's a 4-4-2 for Sweden tonight. They came under certain scrutiny from Zlatan Ibrahimovic about their choice of lineup. They've changed tonight. Whether that was because of Ibrahimovic, who knows? But Olsen is in goal. Back four of Emil Krafth of Newcastle, Philip Helander, Pontus Jansson, and Augustinsson of Werder Bremen. Midfield four, the young Kulusevski, new Juventus player, of course. He's on the left-hand side. Olsen, Svensson, and Forsberg. Up top together in the two, we have Isaac of Real Sociedad and the veteran striker, Marcus Berg, formerly of Panathinaikos and Hamburg. As for the Portugal lineup, this is how it's looking tonight. 4-4-3 for Portugal. Anthony Lopez is in goal. Back four of Guerreiro of Dortmund, Pepe, Ruben Dias, and João Cancelo. João Moutinho, Bruno Fernandes, and Danilo in that midfield three. And then up top, we've got Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side, João Felix in the middle, and Cristiano Ronaldo is back tonight after a toe infection. Do you think maybe Ronaldo can score a few tonight? What do you think of the game overall in terms of who's going to win?
I tell you what, if you look at the game overall, I think Portugal dispatched of Croatia the other night very confidently. They looked absolutely brilliant, and that was without Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, you had him in. I've got to admit, I think Diogo Jota was very unfortunate to miss out. I think he had a brilliant game the other night against Croatia, but sadly he's had to drop to the side tonight to make way for the best player maybe to ever do it. So it's an understandable decision. I think Portugal will come out comfortable winners in this game and leave Zlatan even more angry at the Sweden starting 11.
Who knows? Sweden-Portugal. Some people might remember the last time they faced off for one of the biggest games they've ever played in their histories. It was actually in the playoffs for the Euros a couple of years ago. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. Ibrahimovic scored two. Of course, Ibra's not playing anymore. Maybe we could see Ronaldo bag a hat-trick tonight. So that's Sweden versus Portugal. Thank you very much, Kale. Bring you back in a moment. And then, of course, there is one other game to watch tonight. Unfortunately, Will isn't available, so Will isn't joining us. But he's quite lucky enough because the other games are a little bit smaller tonight. We'll talk about those in a moment. But Rowan has the honour of watching the game between France and Croatia. Of course, the World Cup finalists in 2018. How are you doing, Rowan?
I'm doing very good, Josh. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can already see from the lineup, Rowan, what a lineup for France tonight. It's a 3-4-1-2 that France are playing tonight. Hugo Lloris is in goal, a back three of Deo, Upamecano, Longley, and Hernandez of Bayern Munich. That's Lucas Hernandez, of course. You've got the midfield four. Oh, well, it's kind of Sissoko actually playing on the right midfield, which is an interesting choice. Kante, Steven Nzonzi, and Benjamin Mendy, who's going to be playing as a left mid / left back. Griezmann as a cam. And then up top tonight, it's Wissam Ben Yedder of AS Monaco and Anthony Martial of Manchester United. Nice to see him get a start for France tonight. And then, of course, Croatia, their lineup. It's a 4-3-3 tonight for the Croatians. The young Croatian goalkeeper, Livakovic of Dinamo Zagreb, is in goal. Back four of Melenjak, I think that's how you pronounce it. Kaleta Kar of Marseille, Lovren, and Uremovic as the fullbacks and defenders, of course. Midfield three of Vlasic, Brozovic, and Kovacic. And then up top tonight, Perisic, Andrej Kramaric, and Ante Rebic. We said before, when Croatia played in their last game, they were missing Rakitic and Modric because of injuries and signings, of course, Rakitic moving on to Sevilla. Two very even sides, Rowan. Who do you think is going to win tonight? Because it's a tough one to call.
You've got to base it on previous fixtures so far, and France coming off a 1-0 win against Sweden, and Croatia coming off a 4-1 loss to Portugal. So shortly, the odds don't stack up for Croatia, but they've got a decent squad out. I mean, you look at the midfield, very decent midfield, and the front three is as well. Who watched Croatia the other day? Never mind, I can't remember what I'm saying, but it's a good front three, good midfield. I think I just see a France convincing win easy. Maybe not goals, but I think it's a domination from France.
It was Kyle who watched that game. Of course, they lost Croatia 4-1 against Portugal. Who knows what's going to happen tonight? But that is the game that Rowan is going to be watching. We'll take that off the screen for now, bring the boys back in. We're about a minute away from kickoff in these matches. There are three other games going on tonight on the side, a little bit smaller games in terms of the context of these matches. But Cyprus are taking on Azerbaijan. Luxembourg taking on Montenegro. Montenegro did have 2 goals from Stefan Jovetic in their previous match. And then the smallest match of the night, but an interesting one, actually. San Marino take on Liechtenstein. Of course, the only group to have 3 teams in it. So who knows what's going to happen in that game. San Marino haven't won in their last 27. Maybe tonight is the night. So we'll keep our eyes out on that one, maybe for a historic win. But games are going to kick off very shortly. I'm going to ask for your score predictions for these matches. We're going to start with Rowan. Of course, you've got France versus Croatia. What do you think the score's going to be tonight?
3-1 France.
3-1 France. Hopefully
Yeah.
a good game indeed. Kevin, you've got the game between Sweden and Portugal. What do you think the score's going to be?
I think I'm going to go with 3-0 Portugal.
3-0 Portugal. And KD, you have Belgium taking on Iceland. Who do you think is going to win that one tonight?
4-0 Belgium.
4-0 Belgium. So quite a large amount of goals maybe. I'm going to go for the England game. I'm going to go 2-1 to England, although I expect it to be a 0-0 if we play anything like we did against Iceland.
Just sick of having I'm just sick of having 1-0s.
Yeah, it's you. I wouldn't say you've had a bad run for games because which game did you have for
None of my games have had over 2 goals.
Have they not?
Nope.
Oh well, tonight's got to be the night. It's the last day of Nations League action, so hopefully you can get the goals. But my game has kicked off now. I'm guessing some of yours are about to kick off.
Yeah, probably about 20 seconds.
That's all right. So
mine's kicked off. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 25 seconds in. It wouldn't let me get on a minute ago. So.
Yeah, that's the problem I had. I'm 35.
There we go. So your guys' game's kicked off. I will bring you back in a little bit. I am going to keep Rowan on just in case my webcam does go again like last time. Just hopefully it doesn't for now. If it doesn't, then I'll take you off in a little bit, Rowan, and save you from having to sit here. But I'll keep you for the first 10 minutes just in case, because I don't know what my webcam's going to be like tonight.
He's going to get a view of my side, my profile.
But no, it should be some really good games tonight. Looking forward to it.
Perisic just already had an early shot straight into the hands of Lloris, but it's a bold one. It's very bold.
We've got a very bright start to this game. England have an opportunity from Jadon Sancho, and then Denmark going up the other end and almost having an opportunity within the first minute. And talking about opportunity in the first minute, KL has obviously there's been a chance in this game between Sweden and Portugal. KL, what's happened so far?
Yeah, we've got an immediate opportunity, and I don't know if this Sweden manager has gone to the Tony Pulis textbook because it's a long throw, Rory Delap-esque from Emil Kraft. It goes into the box, and Berg wins the header, and he's free as a bird in the middle, heads it, but he heads it just past the post, and Sweden with the first opportunity.
Very unlucky there. Could have been the first goal of the game already. Thank you very much, KL. He had an early goal in his match before in the Northern Ireland Norway game. In fact, he had 3 early goals in that game. Still currently 0-0 in that match right now.
I've just currently got Austria under-21s versus England under-21s on my other screen as well.
I mean, what a game that is, France v Croatia. The fact that they haven't got Rakitic or Modric tonight, and still the midfield looks absolutely exceptional quality-wise.
It's one thing Croatia have got from it is a really good depth in midfield. I think in your defence you are lacking quite a bit, but you've got it in other areas. So if sometimes it just takes one player to set up, and if you've got 3 in that midfield that can do it, you're good. And obviously with Rebic and Perisic on your wings, you've got 2 incredible wingers. As Croatia, well, goes through, but it's Croatia who've had the most flurry of chances here. No actual shots, were 1 shot, but trying to get something going. France, nothing so far, but we're only 3 minutes in.
Yeah, early start here. Not many opportunities, but England are playing out from the back tonight. 3 at the back formation, so a little tweak of the system. I mean, we have played 3 at the back before when we used to play Kyle Walker there, but this is a very different back four. Of course, Conor Cody for the first time playing. I'm interested to see how he does because he's so used to playing 3 at the back anyway at Wolves. I know it's a 5 at the back, but of course you've got 3 defenders in there. But I don't like watching teams play out from the back. I've said it about 100 times before, but I always find it nervy. Although Pickford...
you're correct there, because France have just tried to do it, and it's lost. But Ferland Mendy's going to collect it and take it away, but nervy there from France. I think it says Enzonzi who gives the ball away to Rebic, who goes for a shot, but it's blocked by Enzonzi, so he makes his way back.
I just hate watching it. I know it's the way that it goes now in football in terms of playing out for the back, but I hate it because it always just makes me feel really nervous. But we've had a goal already in one of the games. It is not one of the games we're watching tonight.
It's San Marino.
If you're a San Marino fan, look away now because you're 1-0 down to Liechtenstein already.
Don't do that.
The goal came in the 3rd minute, a penalty, Nicholas Hasler. So it's 1-0 to Liechtenstein already in that match. Unfortunately, not for San Marino, because I tell you what, if San Marino wins tonight, there will be a party in here celebrating San Marino's first win in 27 games. In fact, it might not have even technically been a win. It could have been a draw. It's just 27 games since they last picked up a point or a draw, which is a real shame for them. But eventually, that record will have to end, and they're only 1-0 down. Maybe there's still time to get back in that match, but who knows?
Yeah, at least it's an early goal. Who say it's better off conceding early than late?
Absolutely. And talking about conceding early, England coming forward here. Alexander-Arnold trying to lob a ball towards Harry Kane, but it's very well defended at the back from Jorgensen. He clears his lines. Very cagey start, this.
Yeah. It's Croatia who've had the most opportunities here. But again, nothing really much of any content.
I'm just praying this game is better than the Iceland one, because if it's the same and it pans out very similar to that match, it's going to be a very long 90 minutes for me. Not
do a
the
switch
fact
if you want, Josh.
Switch games are now. I wouldn't want to let you, Rowan, have the pain of watching England play. Sterling's coming forward here, though. He's dancing. Tries to hit the ball towards the edge of the box where Sanchez moved into the middle. Great defending at the back there from Daniel Vass, who's playing right back, of course, tonight. Really good work from him. But we do have a moment in the game that KD is watching tonight. It's between Belgium and Iceland, of course. KD, who's had that first moment of the game?
Oh, well, it's an absolutely sitter for Iceland. It's a ball whipped in beautifully by Bjarnason. And the striker, not even going to bother to attempt his name. Frid Johnson, is that his name? Went
that is
for the
indeed.
header, and it looked like it was going in. It's just gone over the top of the crossbar, but he had to score. Tell you, Alan Smith would not have been loving that, because you know he loves an header from inside the area. Still
Very unlucky indeed. Good opportunity there for Iceland to take the lead in that game. Thank you very much, Katie. We'll come back to you a little bit later on when we have another opportunity, but it's still Belgium 0, Iceland 0 right now, and hopefully maybe at some point we can get the first goal in that game. But remember, we're only a couple of minutes into these matches. It's early days, and it is nice now. We're at the final day of Nations League action. It is now time to look forward to club football.
Yeah, the Nation League, I think there's very contrasting opinions. One hand, it's good to see all these big teams play. And at the other, I've just seen a man fall over and he hadn't even been touched. He has tripped over his own feet. Sounds
a bit like Neymar.
Yeah, this time, Jacques genuinely has tried to run for the ball and he's just stacked it. Is that how you say it? Meljak?
I think it's very. Is it the left back? Because it's really hard to pronounce his name. Let me have a look again at his name. It's Meljak.
Meljak, right? Okay.
Meljak.
We know I'm not the best with names.
Well, that's why I thought tonight, of course, with the big games, it puts you in a much easier position because you've got all the recognisable players on the pitch, rather than having to go for something like a San Marino Liechtenstein, where no doubt you have to have Google on the side just to see what shirt numbers there are to the players.
There we go. Just so I don't get anything wrong. I'm worried about getting it wrong.
I'm not going to lie, don't worry. I've got the same as you. I always have one up just to see the shirt numbers, just in case.
It was when I did Georgia versus Estonia. It was great. It's like, do you know when you got to paint by numbers and stuff? I was looking for the numbers. Okay, that was him.
Kieran L as well. I've just seen he's got his up too, just to make sure we've got the right players. And it's, as you said before, it's contrasting opinions with the Nations League. But I think you compare the first match day to the second match day, and I know obviously these are the third actually installment of games. They've been much better.
Yeah,
they've been much better. KD says he's got one up as well, so we've all got the shirt numbers up just so we don't make any mistakes. But match day 2, it's been so much better, and hopefully once players have got the fitness levels up, we'll see back to the usual standard of football in match day 3 in October.
Yeah.
Benaldo, he's in the stream. He's put afternoon, lads. How are you doing, Benaldo? Welcome to the street, buddy.
Good afternoon.
Hope you're good, lad.
Bloody 8 o'clock here. He's just getting over, about to have his tea.
It's Gareth Southgate, by the way. I know we said about what he was wearing last time. He's gone back to the traditional suit he wears, so he's changed it up a bit. No jumper this time.
It's because it was a bad performance. It was.
I tell you what, though, Rowan, these first 10 minutes, it's been very dull so far. Not really an opportunity on goal.
No, same with mine. Croatia have shown some attacking play, but nothing that's convincing. France, on the other hand, they've had to sit back because Croatia have been that forward thinking. Ball's kept in. Ball's gone. Oh, he's off flags up. And that was Malenjak who kept the ball in there. And he plays through Perisic. But Forge Perisic is just a little bit offside. So close there for Croatia.
Long ball towards Sancho. Takes a touch towards the right corner flag. Moves towards the edge of the box. Lays it towards Kane. Good clearance from Christensen. First corner of the game. Benalda's put, by the way, it's hot and I'm ready to watch football. Benalda, tell me what game you're watching, because if it's England, go back to bed. It could be a long 80 minutes left of this match. But if you're watching something like France or Croatia or Sweden, Portugal, or even Belgium, Iceland, you've got a much better game than what I will have. KD actually has just said don't watch Belgium either, so don't watch that game. Either put France or the Portugal game on. But we've got a corner here.
Limited choices now, Benalda. Limited choices.
We've got a corner which Trippier is going to whip in here, playing at left back tonight, as he did in that previous game. Maybe we can get a nice early goal. Taken short, just towards the edge of the box, towards Sancho, who does get his right foot onto the ball. It's a weak shot. And it gets blasted away from goal. Poor opportunity there for Sancho because he's completely unmarked. And I tell you what, a little bit of a better connection on the ball. Maybe that would have tested Schmeichel's goal, but first little chance. And we've had a goal. Just as KD said, don't watch the Belgium game. There's been a goal in his match. Who's it to, KD?
I'm not quite sure how this ball has ended in the back of the net, but Iceland lead, and it's the man that missed the absolute sitter, Finn Johnson. He just swipes at the ball for about 20 yards out, takes a wicked deflection. It's in the air for what seems forever, and it bounces off the crossbar, on the line, and in the net. Casteels is absolutely squabbling for it on the line, but somehow Iceland lead.
Unbelievable start. I mean, you said a moment ago, don't watch the game. Now, hopefully now, this kind of really kickstarts that match, because Belgium have got a lot of work to do, but 1-0 to Iceland.
That has come from absolutely nothing. Like, he's been played in the middle of the park for the last 5 or so minutes. And then he swipes at it from 20 yards. And it just takes a wicked deflection off Dene, loops in the air. And Casteels can't do all about it. 1-0 Iceland, 11 minutes played.
Thank you very much, KD. Very unexpected that there, Rowan. 1-0 to Iceland. Belgium's got a lot of work to do.
Probably a game you wouldn't expect, but so I say, Upamecano has skinned Kramaric there. Kramaric tries to turn him, and Upamecano doesn't have any of it. He just minces through him, and then starts an attack for France. Nothing comes of it, but I mean,
we had an opportunity here for Denmark. Andreas Christensen just at the halfway line goes a long ball towards Yusuf Poulsen, who's seen a bit of space in the box. Try to guide it towards his head, but it's just a little bit too high for him, and that opportunity goes wide. KD, another chance in his game. Looks like he's kick-started now. He's had that chance.
It's a free kick on the edge of the area. Kevin De Bruyne and Mertens are both stood over it. I'm waiting for KDB to do something special because I know what he's capable of. And if he does, this game will have sparked to life. It does look like he's lining up to hit. Him and Mertens stood over the ball. 12 minutes on.
If you put this in the back of the net, then fantastic.
Mertens hits it, and what a save. Witsel on the follow-up off the line. Witsel again. And he's offside. How has that stayed out?
Oh, so it's still 1-0 to Iceland.
Oh, no, he's in. He's gone in. He's gone over the line. It's 1-1.
Oh, it's a goal. It's been given.
I think the free kick has been given for the goal. I'm not sure. I'm just going to confirm it. Mertens has the free kick. Excellent save by the Iceland goalkeeper. Witsel's shot does cross the line. It is 1-1. Axel Witsel has instantly for Belgium.
Thank you very much, KD. And they're right back in the game after about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, probably even less than that, of going 1-0 down. Belgium are back level in that game. But Rowan, it sounds like you've had an opportunity in your match between France and Croatia.
Perisic does lovely, and he passes it through to Kramaric. And Kramaric thinks there's someone behind him, and he fakes it, and there's no one there. And I think it's I'm just going to see who comes across for it. Kramaric fakes. I think someone does call. I think Enzonzi actually calls for it, and he's just faked out Kramaric, and Enzonzi does clear it. But if Kramaric doesn't leave that, he's got an open chance to shoot it. And he said he leaves it straight to the path of Enzonzi.
Very, very unlucky. KD has said, by the way, in terms of the amount of time between Belgium and Iceland's goal and Belgium's goal, 50 seconds between them both. So very, very quick reply from Belgium in that game. And we're now about 15 minutes into these matches. And already Belgium won, Iceland won. Good start to that match, even though it was a little bit done in the first 10 minutes. But we've only had 3 goals so far. Actually, no, we haven't. We've had 4 goals. There's been another goal that's just gone in. It's in one of the games that we're not watching tonight. If you're a San Marino fan, you're now 2-0 down to Liechtenstein. Bad start for San Marino tonight. 2-0. Yannick Frick with the second goal in that game.
Not Frick.
And 2-0 down there. Bad start for San Marino. And they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into that game.
Lovely by Croatia. Brozovic is through. Brozovic under pressure. Oh, that could be a penalty shout here. Is that a penalty shout? It's Rebic who goes down. He doesn't give a penalty. I think the ball's out of the pitch. Brozovic does lovely. He's marked by 3 French players. Plays the ball through to Rebic. And Rebic don't get onto it. I think he's brought down, but I think he's off the pitch. I'm just looking now. I don't know. Nope. Rebic stands on Lloris's hand.
So good decision there. Good decision from the referee.
We are
15 minutes in here. Denmark and England. And this has been an absolute enthralling first 15 minutes of football. Very end-to-end. If you do like watching your teams pass around the back, then this is the game for you. Although Sancho's coming forward here. Lays it off to Trent. Tries to whip it in.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's Dejan Lovren. And that is lovely. It's a cross that comes in from a corner, headed up high by a Coletta car. It comes to Lovren. He fake shots it, turns, and then hits it again. Lloris gets a hand to it. That is a lovely goal by Dejan Lovren. The best centre-back in the world.
He can now take that title.
And it's a horrid cross by Brozovic. It's so high in the air, but it's actually Perisic who wins a header. Lovren fakes it, chops it to his other foot. Oh, and then just has acres of space. Fake. Takes it with his left foot. That's a great goal by Dejan Lovren. Oof. Croatia, they do deserve. That's incredible.
Zenit St. Petersburg, new centre-back. As you said, Rowan, he thought he was once the best centre-back in the world. He's now scored against the best national team in the world. Fantastic finish from the Croatian centre-back there. And it's 1-0 to Croatia in that game. A good start. And I'll take you off the screen now if you want, Rowan.
Yeah, sure, so I can hear commentary.
Yeah, give you a bit of time. There we go. So thank you very much, Rowan. Just wanted to obviously make sure there that my camera didn't disconnect, which it hasn't right now. But we've had another goal. KD, it's been an absolute mammoth start of a game in his match. It's 1-1 between Belgium and Iceland. Who's taken the lead, KD?
Just as I complain about the lack of goals that I get, I've got 3 in 16 minutes. Belgium are back in the lead. It's an absolutely magnificent goal, I'm not going to lie. The build-up play, the finish is kind of a little bit scrappy, the final few passes, but the build-up play is absolutely magnificent. They had it in Iceland's half, passing it around them for about 3 or 4 minutes. Eventually, Mertens, it broke from in the box. He tapped it back to the edge of the area. Axel Witsel had the shot, saved, but Michy Batshuayi was there to tap in the rebound. 2-1 Belgium, 17 minutes on the clock. What a game!
What a start. Thank you very much, KD. Sounds like Northern Ireland versus Norway last night. Denmark coming forward here, and it's a big opportunity for Dolberg to put it in the back of the net, just from the edge of the box. A lovely pass from Daniel Vass into Dolberg. He's on the far right-hand side, cuts in towards the middle of the goal, takes on the shot just over Jordan Pickford. First real opportunity of the game. But welcome in, Jeunesse. Unfortunately, I don't know French. I'm not going to lie, but Benaldo is writing in the chat. So hopefully you're all good, pal. Welcome to streamer. Thank you, Benaldo. Hope you're all good today. But so far, the main game that I'm watching tonight is Denmark versus England, and it's making me fall to sleep. We're 18 minutes in here, and it's doing a very good job of making me tired. So, very dull start so far. I think the best stretch we've had of the game so far is that Dullberg opportunity about 2 minutes ago. Sorry, not 2 minutes ago, about 30 seconds ago, you could say. So it's going to be a long night, I think, in this match. But Denmark are coming forward again here. It's Dullberg. Lays off to Braithwaite. Now lays it off to the far right-hand side. Comes back into Delaney. It comes towards Delaney. Now to Vass. Who puts it to the middle. Here's Poulsen. And if he got his foot onto that, it would have been 1-0 Denmark. Literally has to just get a touch on the ball. Unfortunately, Jusuf Poulsen can't, misses the ball, and it goes out of play. But good opportunity there for them to get a goal in this match. And I'm just seeing that opportunity again now. It's Daniel Vass, lays it into the box, and it's so unlucky. I think it's hit with a little bit too much trajectory there towards Poulsen. And it kind of comes off his chest, actually. And goes out of play. So unlucky on that one, but maybe we might get a goal at some point. But we have got a moment in the game between Belgium and Iceland. What a start to this match. Who's had that chance, KD?
Well, it actually comes from an Iceland corner that's punched away by Casteels, and it is absolutely electric on the counter-attack. Kevin De Bruyne runs with it for it seems ages, and he taps it to his right to Mertens. He must score, but he absolutely skies it. It's such a good opportunity for Belgium to possibly just absolutely start a rout in this game, but it is still 2-1, 19 minutes on the clock.
But it sounds like it, actually, and for all in games so far, do you think Iceland can maybe get back into it, or do you think Belgium might now just start taking a bit of foothold?
I mean, Belgium have just given away a dangerous free kick about 30 yards out, so obviously the ball's probably going to get lofted into the box from the right wing area here. They have had a decent start, Iceland. They are getting a lot of touches in Belgium's half. They look dangerous from set plays, of course, which is probably one of their main sources of goals and stuff because of their height in the team. They do need to take advantage of these set plays because Belgium are quite sloppy at the back. They've still not really learnt from the other night when they played Denmark.
Good game so far. They're still 2-1. Thank you very much, KD, for the update right now in that game. Of course, KD watching Belgium versus Iceland. 2-1 to the Belgians. They were 1-0 down early on in that game. It only took them 50 seconds to get the equaliser back in that match before taking the lead and making it 2-1 not long afterwards. But we're about 20 minutes into these games right now. You can see the scorelines on your screen. We've had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals on the night already. 3 in the Belgium-Iceland game, 2 for Liechtenstein, and of course, Croatia taking the lead against France in their match. But if you are new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. We're 7 subscribers away from 700. We're going to be doing the UEFA Nations League goal show again, of course, when it comes back in October. But even when this is finished, when club football returns, Premier League games, League games, Bundesliga, you name it, we're going to be doing watchalongs for those. We'll tell you a little bit more about that when it does hit half-time. But we have had a moment, finally. We had a moment earlier in the match, but Sweden and Portugal, of course. KL's watching that game. Big match. But who's had that second moment, KL?
This one's for Portugal. It's Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side. He cuts in on his left. You know what he's going to do. He puts an in-swinging cross in. Danilo Pereira goes for the header. Goes just across his head. Maybe if it had hair, could have notched it in, but he didn't. And then it's free at the back post for Pepe, who dives in towards it, but just misses it. But the big moment now is Bernardo Silva has gone off with what appears to be a muscle injury. So he's going to be replaced with Goncalo Guedes. And because we're only a week out from the season, maybe 2 weeks if you're Man City, disappointing for them. They may be without him for the opening game.
Hopefully not, but still 0-0 right now. Thank you very much, KL. We've already seen some big injuries in this competition in the Nations League. We saw yesterday Zaniolo has picked up another ACL injury. He's now out until February. We had the potential chance of Reguilon, who nearly had a serious injury himself. Luckily, he was able to continue on. He's okay now, which is fantastic here. But the Zaniolo one is the main big injury that we've had from this tournament, which is a real shame, of course, especially when he just had an ACL injury quite early on previously, and he's just come back over these last couple of months, and now he's back injured again. So hopefully nothing too serious for Bernardo Silva there, but still 0-0 in that match right now between Sweden and Portugal. So the big games tonight. If you're wondering which matches are on and you want to keep up to date with the scores, we're covering every match tonight, including the other 3 smaller games. But the 4 main games we're keeping an eye out on. Denmark versus England, which is the game that I'm watching. We're about 23 minutes in. Very dull affair so far between the two sides. A couple of small opportunities here and there. France taking on Croatia, repeat of that World Cup final in 2018. Croatia in the lead in that game. Dejan Lovren with the goal in that match. Sweden 0, Portugal 0. They played against each other in that very famous playoff match a couple of years ago. It's 0-0 right now in that match. And then Belgium 2, Iceland 1, being the game of the night so far. 3 goals early on in that match. We could see a couple more goals in that game. We're only about 25 minutes into that match. So looking forward to some of these games right now. Being a good start in a few of those matches. Unless you're Denmark versus England. I said before, I predicted 2-1 to England, but don't be surprised if it ends 0-0. Of course, it is still 0-0 right now. Denmark being the better of the two sides here. They're going for a bit of a long ball approach tonight, which, of course, when you've got to play like Yusuf Poulsen up top, very tall, you're going to try and work the ball towards him. He could take a touchdown and maybe lay it off or even go on goal himself, playing off that right wing. But England being very slow, very poor, and very boring so far in these first 25 minutes, which is what England like to do, just bore us all to death. Looking at the chat right now, good to see Junaid in here. Hope you're good, pal. And Benaldo too. Of course, I said if you are new, do leave a subscription because we are going to have plenty more watch-alongs coming soon. We are going to be taking a little bit of a break on the watch-alongs. Of course, there's no football for the next couple of days. Friday, the Championship is back, the EFL Championship, which is fantastic to see. Saturday, the Premier League is back. And, of course, you might be aware, too, of the last couple of hours. It was announced that every Premier League game is now going to be live and available to watch across various platforms if you're in the UK, including Amazon Prime, Sky and BT. So every game is going to be available to view. So there might be 1 or 2 watch-alongs on Friday and Saturday, which I'll do live, but then might have a few days break before we're back, and we're going to change up the watch-alongs a little bit. New settings, new banners, new everything. We're going to try and change it up. So do keep your eyes out on the channel for all of that stuff. But we've had an opportunity in the Sweden and Portugal game. Sounds like it's livening up a little bit more now. Who's had that chance, KL?
Yeah, it definitely is, and this is another chance for Portugal. It's a low corner, and no one's really seemed to have read it apart from Ronaldo, who gets the volley, but it's a good save by Olsen with his feet. But Portugal are growing into the game, and after an early scare from Sweden, it's definitely been all Portugal.
0-0 so far, so hopefully we'll see a goal before the end of the first half in your game. Thank you very much, Kel. Hopefully we'll see a goal in our game as well. Right now, Denmark-England still 0-0, and Sweden-Portugal, of course, the one that Kel is watching, still 0-0 in that match right now. Hopefully we'll see a goal very shortly. Thank you very much for coming in, Junaid. Really do appreciate it. I know, obviously, very unfortunate I can't speak French, but thanks for coming in, buddy, and thanks, Benaldo, as well, for trying to add a bit of conversation for him there, because I don't know any bit of French, I'm not going to lie, so I'd have been absolutely fucked in that department. Benaldo's put that. I wonder how that pans out in the USA. We only had 1 game per time slot. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that works, the USA, whether they'll do it or not, because I know in England, they've got every game available now, so they've changed some of the times around a little bit. So West Ham, I think, are playing, I think it's Newcastle, and it's supposed to be 3 o'clock, and now it's at 8 o'clock, so they've changed it up now. A little bit. I've just seen what Katie's put in the chat. Quality, I love it. They've changed it up a little bit. So the times are different for some of the Premier League games, just so they're available on TV, so all the fans can watch them. But I'm looking forward to it. We'll probably have 1 or 2 more watch-alongs. Maybe one on Friday night, maybe one on Saturday. I think Liverpool versus Leeds might be the game that we look out for on Saturday. But after that, there'll be a little bit of a break, so we can set things up. Probably get the paid version of StreamYard, which right now we're not using, and go from there. And it'll look a little bit different the next time we're live. So keep your eyes out for it, because we're trying to improve the channel as much as we possibly can in terms of content and just quality-wise as well. I've tried a few things out for Champions League watch-alongs, which I'm very excited for indeed. But just looking at the chat right now, hopefully Benaldo, they can get the games on in the USA, because I don't know if they will or not, but we'll have to find out. But right now, Denmark and England, we are 27 minutes into this game. So I'm going to put it as 30 minutes right now. But we are a couple of minutes away. Just saves me from having to update it often. And Denmark are coming forward here. Vass from the right back position, bombing forward, but it's cleared away. And Calvin Phillips on the ball. Poor clearance from Calvin Phillips. He's giving it away to Denmark, not once, but twice. But the referee's given a free kick advantage to England. And that was for a foul on Kieran Trippier. Not the heaviest foul in the world, but the referee spotted it and has given it there. Bananas, but nice. Get a Patreon going somewhere down the road. Yeah, I mean, potentially. We're going to keep building the channel as we go along. Maybe that's something to look into in the future. But, like in terms of the podcasts and stuff, looking to improve them over time. As I said, the watch-alongs, trying to change it up very slightly with those. The podcast, the top corner one, that's going to change up a little bit when that comes back on the 16th, I think. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. But looking forward to it all as we get into the new season. I think it was more just a case of us waiting for the new season to kickstart before we really implement new changes and test things out a little bit more than maybe we did last year. We kind of just set everything in stone over these last couple of months before we take risks and gambles. But 28 minutes on the clock right now. If I do fall asleep, can one of the boys try and get themselves on the screen, because this is a very dull game right now. Gareth Southgate currently sat on the bench looking very bored himself, probably wishing why he even picked the role of England manager. Wouldn't be surprised if he just decided to leave the job after these two games, because the England players are boring him to death, because they're boring me to death right now. And it's a shame, because if you don't know, in England, to watch these games right now, they're not available for free. Usually, England matches would be available on a channel called ITV, and you'd be able to watch these matches free of charge. But for the Nations League games, you have to pay to watch them. So the fact, if anybody's paid to watch these two games, then honestly, I feel very sorry for them right now. And they should probably ask for a refund once this game is done. It's a mistake here at the back for England. Pickford's going to have to clear these lines, and he does very, very well. It was Calvin Phillips, once again, giving the ball away. Sloppy start from the Leeds midfielder there. But we have had a goal in one of the games that we're not watching tonight. Of three of the smaller sides facing off. It isn't in San Marino game. This time it's in the Azerbaijan game, because they've taken the lead against Cyprus. So 1-0 in that match. And it's a shame that the Azerbaijan game is already better than the England match, because it's had a goal. But now did you see Ings and Trips headbutt each other? I did indeed. Which just shows how England players don't have any brain cells if they can collide into each other from such a short distance. But yeah, I think Sky Sports put something like a very, very dangerous collision. It wasn't that dangerous. They've probably not ever seen rugby before, because that happens all the time. But honestly, injuries in football, they're always made out to be much more serious than they are. But Braithwaite's gone for a half volley. Oh, just wide of the mark. Well, maybe that is the opportunity we needed to liven this game up. About 30 yards out from goal. Long ball that's hit towards Dolberg. Drops down towards Braithwaite. Takes one touch. Then takes another touch. Hits it on the half volley. Just wide of the post. And I think a little bit closer to the post there. And Jordan Pickford would have been beaten. Good chance there for Denmark. And that is the opportunity we needed in this game. Maybe to liven it up a little bit. But it's still 0-0 in that match right now. And we have had, I think, another goal elsewhere. Just going to check here. The Azerbaijan game? No, we haven't. Maxim Mehmedev with the goal in that game. It did say 2-0 for a second, but it's gone back to 1-0 again. So no goal in that game. Of course, they are the three smaller matches going on tonight in the background. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, updating the scores as we go along. Right now, half an hour in, Belgium 2-1 up against Iceland. Great start to that match. It was a little bit cagey in the first 10 minutes, but it's really kicked on with a couple of goals in that game. France 0, Croatia 1, goal from Dejan Lovren in that match, the new Zenit centre-back. Cyprus 0, Azerbaijan 1. That goal went in about 1 or 2 minutes ago. Sweden 0, Portugal 0, still goalless in that game. Hopefully we can get a goal shortly. Luxembourg 0, Montenegro 0. Good win for Montenegro in their last game. Jovetic with 2 goals. Can he score tonight? Who knows? Denmark 0, England 0. Of course, is the game that I'm watching right now. And then San Marino, they're 2-0 down to Liechtenstein. Worst possible start for the team that never seems to be able to win, which is very unfortunate for them indeed. And just looking at the lineup tonight, across the board, for the smaller games, Jovetic is starting up top. He deserves to. Came off the bench in that previous match for Montenegro. Scored 2 goals. He starts tonight, which is very, very fair indeed. Good performance for him. For a player that you probably haven't heard of for a couple of years now. Last at Manchester City. I think most people will know him for his time there, and Fiorentina as well. Still at AS Monaco, but doesn't really get much game time because of a few serious injuries he's had in the last couple of years. But he does start tonight, of course. But 32 minutes on the clock. Denmark, England. Denmark passing around the back right now. Trying to go long ball. That's the aim of tonight's game. Get it towards the path of Yusuf Poulsen, the tall striker. Get it towards him. Take a touchdown and maybe lay it off into the path of Braithwaite or Dolberg in the middle. But nothing seems to be working right now. Not just for Denmark, but for England as well. It's been a very lacklustre first half an hour. And it's really, really boring, to be honest. But, of course, we're going to cover it as England come forward here. Trippier towards Sterling, who's had to go all the way to the left corner flag. Back to Trippier, who lays across into the box towards Harry Kane. It's a good clearance from Jorgensen, but it comes back to England once again in the middle of the field. Can they maybe hit this long ball themselves towards Kane? They decide not to. Joe Gomez going back to Conor Cody there, who's had a fairly comfortable start, to be honest, in this half an hour. Alongside Eric Dyer and Gomez at the back. Of course, we know Eric Dyer formerly as a centre-back in his previous days. Then he moved to Spurs from Sporting to become a centre defensive midfielder. Now starting to go back into that centre-back position again, which is really awesome to see. Jasland, welcome to the stream, buddy. He's put down both Soloff and Haaland's fathers played for Norway in the 1994 World Cup. Absolute ballers. Great performance last night for Norway. As England come forward here, Sancho coming into the box on the right-hand side, tries to lay it off for Harry Kane, but it's a poor ball from the Dortmund forward. Still with England in the attacking phase of play. Sancho lays it off to Joe Gomez. And as England always do, they go back to the defence. And it really makes you want to claw my eyes out right now because that's how they've been playing so far, just going back to the defence. And this doesn't really seem to be a sense of urgency, which is fair, of course, because we're only 35 minutes into this match. There doesn't have to be a sense of urgency, but it does feel like the majority of opportunities I've seen so far, they go forward and then it just goes back to the defenders as Calvin Phillips takes a touch of the ball towards Eric Dyer. Now into Trippier, into Sterling in the middle of the field. So there's an opportunity, but the opportunity has gone for now. Still 1-0 to Croatia in that match. Sterling's in the box here. Lovely run on the left-hand side. He could lay it off for Harry Kane. He does try and get it towards him. There's 3 defenders in the box and it's cleared away. Comes back to England, though. Calvin Phillips, lovely touch. Lays it off to Joe Gomez. 2 centre-backs, Gomez and Dyer, really far forward tonight for England. In fact, the 3 centre-backs kind of playing towards the middle of the pitch right now. Here's Dyer into Calvin Phillips. Lays it off to the left-hand side to Raheem Sterling, who cuts in towards the middle of the pitch. What can you do here? Kieran Trippier on the left-hand side. Back to Sancho. Into Calvin Phillips. And I guarantee this ball is going to go back to the defenders. Please don't do it. Calvin Phillips. Oh, it's back to Joe Gomez. Yes, that's what we love to see. Back to the defenders again for the 50th time in this match. That's what we love to see. That's the England way for you. And I tell you what, there's no sugarcoating this performance tonight. You'll get the honest opinion in this game so far because that's all England seem to do right now. But what I have noticed, it looks like Sancho and Sterling have swapped sides. So Sancho's gone to the left-hand side for now, Sterling on the right. They did that in the previous game before. They've already done this in the first 35 minutes. So we'll have to see what happens there. And just looking at the comments, KD, Josh is going to have to grate your hairs after this is done. You're absolutely spot on. Honestly, I'm going to rag my hair out with how this game has been so far. But we've got a chance. So let's go over to Rowan. Croatia currently 1-0 up against France. Who has had that opportunity? Rowan. I've just seen him shaking his hand right now. He's saying, no, there's not. So we're not going to Rowan. It's still 1-0 Croatia right now. He did say there was an opportunity, but there's an opportunity now for Denmark to come forward. Long ball again. Lofted towards Dolberg, but a little bit too heavy. And it could be hit away from Jordan Pickford. So still 0-0 in this match right now. And Jasland putting easy. They're coming forward again, though, Denmark here. Lovely chance here for Dolberg. Great save from Jordan Pickford. And, well, it's a shame that that's not in the back of the net because there was a lovely chance from Denmark. Christian Eriksen with the build-up play right now. And just see this opportunity again to really talk you through it because it's a first real big opportunity. So it's Christian Eriksen, about 30 yards out from the goal in the middle, lays it off to Dolberg, who's made a lovely run inside of the box towards the bottom right-hand side of the pitch. Tries to hit it towards the bottom right at the near post. Good save from Pickford. Denmark do get a corner. Can they score? We'll have to find out here. Christian Eriksen going to whip the corner in. A few tall players in that box, including Poulsen and Christensen. It's lofted towards the path of Christensen. It comes down here for Braithwaite, takes a touch. And it's going to out for another corner. Maybe now we can start to see the game build up a little bit more than it has in the last half an hour. Still 0-0. 2 corners into succession here for Denmark. Eriksen with a chance to whip this one in again. 3 corners for Denmark to England's 1. Can Eriksen do something here with the corner as we hit the 37th minute? I'm going to put it as the 40th minute for now. Some of the games might be earlier or later. But the corner is whipped in, and Eric Dyer can clear it away. But only to Vass, who heads it down to Eriksen. But it's out of play. And I think the referee has given a Danish free kick here. Raheem Sterling with a foul on Vass And it's a very good area here to whip this one and maybe get it towards the centre-backs, Christiansen and Jorgensen, two very tall players in there. And, of course, Yusuf Poulsen too, the 6'5/6'6" forward. Can he get a goal in this match? So here we go. Free kick's going to be whipped in here. It's Eriksson who's standing over this. He's going to whip it into the box. Lovely curl on the ball, but there's no one there. And the referee's seen a foul in the build-up. So a free kick is given to England. And looking there, it's a foul from Yusuf Poulsen on Harry Kane there. So a good spot from the referee in the box. And that is going to be a free kick with about 6 to 7 minutes to go in the first half. But if you are new to the stream and you've enjoyed the content so far, do leave a like and a subscription. As always, we're 7 subscribers away from 700, so keep your eyes out. Of course, plenty more watch-alongs to come. But we have had an opportunity in one of the other games tonight. Sweden, they're facing Portugal. Still 0-0 in that match right now, but who has had the opportunity? Kieran L.
It's Portugal again. I've got to admit, it's a very slow night for me tonight. It's nothing like Northern Ireland v Norway. It's looks like I must have got KD syndrome because I've got the boring one. João Cancelo chips the ball in behind, and Ronaldo's running onto it like he does, and he hits it on the half volley. But Robin Olsen's legs have been the saviour for Sweden tonight, and they're in there again because it's still 0-0.
Thank you very much. Bit of a quiet game for you so far. Hopefully we can get a goal soon in your match. 0-0 right now between Sweden and Portugal in the 4 main games we're looking at right now. You can see on the screen, I'm watching Denmark versus England. Unfortunately, someone has to do it. France v Croatia, currently 1-0 in that match. Rowan's watching that game. Lovren with a goal. KL said a moment ago he's watching the Sweden-Portugal game. 0-0 in that one. Not too bad. Bit slow right now, but hopefully we'll get a goal soon. KD's watching the best game of the night so far. Belgium 2, Iceland 1. Iceland were 1-0 up in that game before Belgium equalised 50 seconds later, and they took the lead a couple of minutes after that. So we do have a free kick here, once again, for Denmark in a very similar position to the free kick they just had a moment ago. Can Eriksson deliver a better cross here? In fact, Eriksson's not going to take it. Robert Skov is going to take this to Hoffenheim. It's lofted long, and once again, the referee's given a free kick to England. This time it's Norgard with a foul in the build-up. So very, very poor there. And once again, that's 2 wasted free kicks in short succession. But we have had another moment in one of the games tonight. It's between Belgium and Iceland. Who's had that opportunity, KD?
Well, it's another free kick for Belgium. And you know what happened from the last one, Josh? So I just thought I'd jump in just in case it's another moment like the equaliser for Belgium. It's a little bit further wide this time on the left-hand side. Same 2 men stood over it, Mertens, De Bruyne. Axel Witsel's in there. Of course, he got the equaliser. Batshuayi's in there, the man who's currently got the winner for Belgium. It has slowed down quite a little bit in the last 20 minutes or so. Iceland feeling their way back into the game, but they've not had any sustained possession at all. They have gone short, and De Bruyne's passed it straight to one of the Iceland players. So I apologise for wasting your time. 40 minutes.
You haven't wasted my time at all. Honestly, you haven't wasted my time at all. It's probably more exciting than this game right now, that opportunity. But thank you very much, Katie. 2-1 right now. As Katie said, it's died down just a little bit in that game, but Belgium in the lead in that match. They were, of course, 1-0 down early on in that game before they got a nice 2 goals within quick succession, to be honest. I think it was a few minutes, and then they made it 2-1. Somebody has subscribed. Thank you very much to whoever has subscribed. Greatly appreciated. So we're 6 away from 700 now. But England have given away another free kick here to Denmark. This time, it's on the left-hand side, about 35 yards out. Good opportunity for Eriksson to whip this one in. We've already said before about multiple opportunities. It's whipped into the box, and there is absolutely no one there. The most simplest clearance in the world for England, but it's still with Denmark, and it looks like they're going to get a throw in here just close to the corner flag. Raheem Sterling giving the ball away there, and just look at the Denmark manager right now. Looks a little bit frustrated. I think they do deserve, to be honest, to be in the lead here. They've had more opportunities than England have had right now, but Skov is going to take the throw in here. Can they make something of it right now? There's a couple of players in the box ready, primed and raring to go. It's lobbed towards Yusuf Poulsen, who does get a touch, but there's no one around him to get the ball, which means England can easily get the ball back and potentially counter-attack. Calvin Phillips takes touch of the ball and then lobs it straight over to the Danish centre-back Jorgensen. Well done. Really poor cross there. But we have had a goal in one of the games tonight. It's that big match between France and Croatia. Croatia, they were 1-0 up as it currently stood. Now there's been a goal. Who's it been to? Rowan.
It's an equaliser for France. And I'm going to rewatch it because I was too busy sending a clip of Lovren's goal, but it's passed through the box, and that's a lovely link-up play from France. It's Martial. He wins it off. I think who's that? That's one of midfield. He wins it off that. It's some lovely link-up play. I can tell you the name second. It is Ben Yedder. So it goes to Ben Yedder. Ben Yedder plays through Anthony Martial. Then Martial plays it straight into Griezmann's feet. It's a lovely, probably 4-pass goal, but it's well worked and Griezmann pokes in. Nothing can Croatia do, but I just like to say I've been in for a while. Croatia have been having a lot of fun this game. France, I saw it in the comments earlier, they are missing Mbappe. It was a great goal, don't get me wrong, but Croatia, I'd say, have been the better team.
1-1 so far. Thank you very much, Rowan. As you perfectly put there, big miss tonight, Mbappe, of course. Looks like he's contracted coronavirus, which is a real shame. Hopefully he can get better, of course. But there's been an opportunity in the Sweden-Portugal game, and it's an interesting one. Kieran L, talk us through it.
Well, KD is synonymous with 1-0s. I am synonymous with red cards. There has been a sending off. It is Svensson. It's a second yellow, and he is off the pitch. Out of how many streams have we done? Maybe 5, 6? I've had 3 red cards that I've watched. So it's a stupid foul to make. He makes one tackle, gets the ball perfectly fine. It's then a foot race between him and Moutinho. It's about 2 yards away. Moutinho gets there first and he dives in. When you're on a yellow, you can't make tackles like that. It's another red for KL's game.
Red card curse. Honestly, as you said, 3 red cards in 5.
Yeah, Ronaldo's on a free kick. I'm sorry. I just want to stop you just because we know Ronaldo. He's hit or miss with these free kicks. It's a little bit away from the edge of the box. He strikes it over the wall. Oh, what a free kick!
It's in.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable from Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm glad you stayed with me. That is flew into the top corner. Much like his goal against Spain in the World Cup, it has flew like a rocket into the top left. Uphill battle for Sweden now, and I know we had to wait a while for a goal, but what a goal that is.
What a goal indeed, KL, with an absolute screamer in his match. Sweden down to 10 men and an absolute cracker of a free kick from Cristiano Ronaldo means that Portugal have taken a 1-0 lead in their match. It's half-time between Denmark and England. I'm going to describe you this game. It's fucking shite. Don't bother watching it. It's 0-0 right now between Denmark and England. But there's been a moment in the game between Belgium and Iceland. Who's had that moment, KD?
Well, I think I might have just seen the save of the night so far. I've got 1 minute at a time in my game, by the way. We are into that 1 minute. What a save by the Iceland goalkeeper, Christensen. It's lovely movement by Belgium again. They've been doing it all night. Alderweireld down the left-hand side, actually when there's a centre-half tonight, puts a ball across the face of goal. Mertens sticks a foot out at it, and somehow the goalkeeper manages to save it from going in. Looked like it was 3-1 to me, but it's still 2-1. We are probably going to be at half-time in about 30 seconds' time.
Thank you very much, KD. 2-1 in that game. Welcome to the stream, Maxwell Oxborough. Hope you're good, pal. Nice to see you in the stream today. Bernardo going mad about the Ronaldo top bins free kick. But we've had another goal elsewhere. Goals flying in before half-time. It's between France and Croatia. Rowan, who's taken the lead?
When the goals come, they come in packs. And it's Martial again. Martial has got the assist for the last goal. And he scores this time. Ben Yedder does lovely. Flicks the ball up past the Croatian defence. Upamecano heads it through to him. Tons of open space for Ben Yedder on that open wing. He plays the ball across. Lovren can't get to it. Martial finds himself at acres of space. Slots it. Now Livkovic, it hits the post and it comes off Livkovic's head. It's a Martial goal because it is headed in. But Livkovic is so unfortunate there. But Martial, good finish. Unfortunate for Livkovic, but Croatia thinking they're going into this half winning 1-0. They're now 2-1 down. And
2-1 down indeed.
The half has just finished. Croatia being the better side this game, in my opinion, but France have made them count.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 2-1 at half-time. Bring you back in a moment. So we're getting around to half-time in the majority of games right now. As I said before, England 0, Denmark 0 right now, not being the most enjoyable game to watch in the world, but it's 0-0 at half-time, goalless in that one. France and Croatia just going into half-time that game. Late goal in that match for France. They were 1-0 down. They're now 2-1 up in that game. Ben Yedder and Martial both scoring the goals in that game so far. Sweden, they're down to 10 men in their match from 2 yellow cards. Portugal, though, with an absolute stormer of a free kick from Cristiano Ronaldo to put them into the lead. Of course, you'd expect it with a man like Cristiano Ronaldo. And Belgium, 2-1 against Iceland. And just as I say that, it's hit half-time. KD, do you think that Belgium will be the happier of the sides right now?
Oh yeah, most definitely. They've controlled the game for a large proportion of the game. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed it isn't 3-1 or 4-1. They have had a few more chances. But I think Iceland, they've got that little bit of belief that they can get back into this game in the second half.
Absolutely, indeed. 2-1 at halftime of the game. Bring you back in a moment because we have also hit halftime in the final game that we're covering tonight in terms of the main 4 matches. Sweden, they are down to 10 men. They're now 1 goal down, and it's an absolute incredible free kick from Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, what a man.
It's what he has in the locker. You know, we've said for a while, I know people take the mick out of, you know, his free kick statistics and hits the wall 90% of the times, but it's that 10% that really get fans off their feet. And sadly, there was no one there to witness it, but I'm glad I was here watching it because it's an unbelievable moment from an unbelievable player. And to be fair, Sweden have got a massive uphill battle now, and I apologise to them for watching their game because if there was going to be a red, has to be in mind, doesn't it? You know.
Absolutely. I mean, it's red card central when you're around, Kieran.
Yeah.
But no, what a free kick. Goal of the Nations League so far, do you think?
Oh, no. It's not as good as that other free kick we saw the other night. I can't remember who hit it.
From Schlotterstein.
Thank you. Him. It's not better than that, but it's an absolute wonderful free kick.
Absolutely, indeed. And we'll bring the boys back in a moment because it's Sweden 0, Portugal 1. There is still one more game going on right now. That is just about to hit half-time, as far as I'm aware. As you can see on the bottom of your screen, the score's still rolling. Luxembourg, Montenegro is into the 4th minute of additional time in the first half, which God knows what's happened in that game for this to be 4 minutes of additional time. Just trying to see what's going on there. There's been a ridiculous amount of fouls. There has been indeed. There's been 18 fouls in the first half of that game, so that's probably why there's 4 minutes of additional time. And it now has hit half-time in that game. So, as you can see, across the board, for these matches tonight, these goals will be on your screen in just a moment. Give me 2 seconds. And there we go. So the halftime scores right now of these games. Belgium currently 2-1 up against Iceland. Belgium, of course, were 1 goal down in that game. And then 50 seconds later, equalised before a couple of minutes later, making it 2-1. France pretty much doing the same tonight. They were 1-0 down to Croatia late on. 2 goals in the first half from Ben Yedder and Martial to put them in the lead in that repeat of the World Cup final. Cyprus, they're 1-0 down to Azerbaijan right now in their game. The goal scorer in that match is Maxim Medvedev in the 29th minute, so 1-0 there. Sweden 1-0 down and down to 10 men against Portugal. Of course, Ronaldo scoring that incredible free kick. Luxembourg 0, Montenegro 0. Literally just gone into half-time. There's 4 minutes of additional time there, but nothing going on so far in that game. Denmark 0, England 0. Been very dull first half of football here between these two sides. Denmark being the better of the two teams by a country mile so far. Missed a couple of good opportunities on goal. England looking very lacklustre indeed. And the other game tonight, the final one, San Marino 0, Liechtenstein 2. They're going to still have to wait, it looks like, for potentially to pick up a point or a win. There were 2 goals down after 14 minutes. And they have been absolutely dominating that game from Liechtenstein, who will, of course, pick up 3 points, it's looking like, with 45 minutes to go of that game. So there's the scores at halftime right now, but keep your eyes out because there's more content to still come on the channel. In terms of footballing content, you can see on the screen right now, tonight is the last goal show for the Nations League, but we're going to do it again in October time just to see, of course, how the games have improved compared to now. So do keep your eyes out for the next international break, of course, when the Nations League is back. September 22nd, 23rd, 29th and 30th, we have the Champions League playoffs. Of course, still a couple of teams who need to find out whether they're going to make it into the Champions League or Europa League group stages. They are the first and second legs to be played. Then we'll be live with a goal show for those matches. Then on September the 24th, the UEFA Super Cup, the winners of the Champions League, Bayern Munich, take on the winners of the Europa League, Sevilla. Should be a good game. I always say this, but the last time Sevilla played in the Super Cup, they lost 5-4. If we could have 9 goals again, that would be absolutely fantastic. And then a big week at the beginning of October. October 1st, we have the UEFA Champions League draw. October 2nd, we've got the UEFA Europa League draw. And then October the 5th is deadline day. We're going to do what we did again last year, but it's going to be longer. So keep your eyes out for it. Deadline day live. It's always fun. And it won't be as sweaty in the studio this time because we might not even be in there. But we have watch-alongs 4 matches across all 5 major leagues all season. So keep your eyes out because it could start from this Saturday with the Premier League, maybe even on Friday with the Championship. You'll find out more details as the week goes on. But let's bring the boys back in for now and have a quick talk to them. Not bad first halves overall. You know, some big teams playing out tonight. You've got a fantastic goal for Portugal, a decent start for Belgium and Iceland, fantastic game for France. And that's it, really. Nothing else going on in my game tonight, but no, it's been decent matches overall. To quickly run through your games, France and Croatia, of course. Croatia will be a little bit disappointed, you said, Rome. Do you think they can get back into this game?
Yes, easily. That, by the way, I think the Martial, when I said it was Martial, I think it's going down as a Livkovic own goal. Sky Sports, I don't know if you can see there, say it's 2-1. It's not focusing. Say it's 2-1, but it says there's 3 goal scorers.
After seeing the goal, I think it is an own goal, because if it hits the post, that's not on target.
Anyway, 2-1. I think Croatia can get... Rebic is causing them so much problems. They've just shown the corner that Lovren scored from. That is incredible. Not incredible, pure defending. Nearly all the French players, there's 3 Croatian players at the back and there's 2 that are marking them because all the other French have moved forward because 3 Croatian defenders have all ran forward, leaving Lovren, Rebic and Perisic at the back. Sissoko wins the header, goes to Lovren. Lovren cuts it, shoots. Lovely. So yeah, Croatia, the game's definitely not over and done with.
It's been a good start. 3 goals in that one. 2 late goals for France in that game. I was going to say, could Sweden, maybe get 2 goals back in their game? But they're down to 10 men right now, and it seems like they've got a lot of work to do. Maybe now it could be more damage limitation than it is trying to get an equaliser or a winner.
Yeah, I was thinking, maybe batten down the hatchets and try and not sacrifice their goal difference, because it's still a tournament at the end of the day, and by some magical way they find themselves competing. They need that good goal difference, and in terms of Portugal, what a way to score 100 goals for your country, to top it off with that. Absolutely unbelievable. The best to ever do it.
Really is a fantastic free kick indeed from what I've seen. Really good, but not the goal of the Nations League so far. I said the Hungarian free kick was an absolute barnstormer of a goal. And then...
was it San Marino's or Faroe Islands, where one of the Austin lads just whipped in from it was the same space as Ronaldo, but far left. That's up there as well.
There's been some good goals so far. It's been nice to see. There's been some really good goals. I watched today. There was a game before this actually. Armenia played an absolute wonder goal in that game, about 30 yards out. So there's been some really nice goals. And then of course there's the other game that's going on, which Kivadi's watching. Belgium and Iceland. Iceland, they went 1-0 up out of absolutely nowhere in that match before Belgium got themselves 2 goals back. Can you see Iceland maybe getting back into it, or do you think they've got to do very similar to Sweden, although they're not down to 10 men, barring down the hatches to make sure Belgium don't really take advantage of them?
I think the only problem they've got is if they push forward for the goal, they just leave so much space in behind, and Kevin De Bruyne is taking advantage of that as you think he would. He's been absolutely fantastic. That's what Belgium missed the other night. His pace and just his footballing intelligence is just far above everyone else on the pitch. He's been the man of the match so far for me. But Iceland, they can definitely get back into this game. They have had flurries forward, decent touches in Belgium's half. They're just not really pushing men forward, really. I think their striker's definitely been their best player. For Johnson, I think his name is. He's definitely been their best player with his holding play. For Belgium, it's just a question of can you keep this consistency up? Can you keep the level up? For Iceland, it's kind of the same question, but they're chasing the game, obviously.
A lot of work to do for Iceland right now. The now PFA Player of the Year, Kevin De Bruyne there, with the lovely work in that match for Belgium to put them in that 2-1 lead. But half-time of the game, as you can see the scores on the screen, I don't think it should be too long before the second halves kick off. And usually I have a question to have a half-time, and I don't have anything right now to kind of talk about a half-time apart from how shambolic England are. What a waste of time. Go for it, Rowan.
After we've all watched it, because we're only a year away from the Euros, what's the team who are looking like the biggest contenders? Like, who's the team that you think can really have a great
Portugal. I'm going to go for Portugal again. I think they'll defend their crown.
Wow.
It's a tough one.
I can't disagree with you for the pure fact that from what I've seen of Portugal, they've been brilliant. They dispatched of Croatia, and you see France are having a hard time with Croatia tonight. Portugal didn't have a hard time with them. They whipped them round the park as thingy. But I will continue, and I know they lost the other night, I'm pretty sure, but I've said for a while I'm gonna back the Netherlands to win the whole thing. Oh no, they've lost the manager though. Oh, I don't know. Come back to me. Give me a minute.
It could all look very different in a year, like you said.
Yeah, things can change. That's the thing. I mean, as you said about managers, we might see managers sacked before we even make it to the tournament, and then that changes everything in itself.
Yeah, what do you think England's chances are? Because I've got to admit, I don't think we ain't got a chance.
I think we'll get far, but it's just a question of, is he going to play 3 defensive midfielders every game?
You said in the chat earlier, didn't you, in the private chat, KD, that was it you or was it Rowan that someone put like we've got consecutively worse under Gareth Southgate? Were we that good at the World Cup, or was it just the fact we got a favourable draw?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, it was a favourable draw.
Yeah, because we came up against a good team. Yes, we got beat by Belgium, but let's be fair, we both wanted to lose.
I mean, we scraped past Colombia, didn't we, really? I know, of course, everyone remembers it because we won and we got through, that's the thing. But we scraped past them.
Yeah, we got beat on a set piece, which at this level you can't. I think you put us up against the elite of the elite, the France, the Belgium to an extent. I think Portugal would do a job on us at this point. So
I think there's at least 6 more teams who could do a job on us convincingly.
I mean, when we went up against Netherlands in the Nations League, that we matched them for 90 minutes, but in extra time they absolutely battered us.
I mean, no one's mentioned Germany. They're due a resurgence after their World Cup.
I think we're going to see Germany. Sorry, Josh.
I was going to say Spain. I think Spain could have a bit of a resurgence because, if you think in a year's time, players like Ansu Fati, very young, very talented. If he gets a year of international football under his belt, God knows what he could do. And then just the squad in general. You think of this season, there's been quite a lot of Spanish players that have gone far in competitions. Thiago, Champions League final, Reguilon, made it quite far in the Europa League. They've got some big players on their side.
I think a lot of European teams are due a resurgence. Italy, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, they haven't been at the top of the game for a while. So I think all these 4 teams they won't stay out of it for too long. I think if we had a chance to make it to a final, I think it was the World Cup just passed. But if the stars align and maybe we can get to the semis or something like that. I mean, that's a good. The problem is, when does getting to the semis no longer become a good tournament? Because we accepted it, but
that's what I think as well. That when does we should win something with the squad we've got. I think the players we've got, we should win something. Our squad, I think, on paper is one of the best in the world. You look at the front 3 we've got. Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling are arguably the best 2 forwards in the Premier League on statistics. Jadon Sancho is on paper one of the best forwards in the Bundesliga. You look at the midfield, and that's the problem for me. The defence is fine. The right back, left backs, the centre back you play next to Maguire is fine. The goalkeeper, questionable. The midfield is where we lack massively. I still don't think he's found a solution yet.
I think our team is incredible in the Premier League, but outside of the Premier League, I think some of them players, the only one that you can definitely say won't struggle in the Premier League will be Sancho because he's proved that he can do it in Bundesliga. But I'd say there are many teams that are way better than us. I wouldn't say we're up there with the best.
I think depth is another one of our problems. I truly do believe that, and you look at teams like France. Personally, I believe France could field 2 11s better than our starting 11. Yeah. And that's just how gifted they are. That's not our fault, of course, as a nation, but I just think we are blessed in attacking out. But do you remember when we had that glorious midfield? We seem to have glorious players, but we can't seem to find a system that gets the best out of everyone. So
the problem then was the strikers, wasn't it? Now it's kind of around.
Yeah, and then when we had Scholes at left wing, and it's just like we try to put all these players in, but we don't have a system that really facilitates that. So it's been a good conversation for one we didn't have.
Don't we? Whenever we do the podcast, I remember us just going off on a tangent about England. I'm going to ask you all now, your 3 midfielders that you would start if you were Gareth Southgate. Because personally, Rowan's absolutely dashing, so no, we won't. Right. Just give me your 3 players that you'd start. My game's kicked off, by the way. Just quickly.
Same. Sorry, I was really confused because they've took off Rebic for Brekalo, and Rebic has had an incredible game. Sorry.
The thing is, right, 3 midfielders, I'm tempted to, I'm thinking, do we go off form? Do we go off players that, potentially in a year's time? Because, Dele Alli, on his day is the best midfielder we have, but he's not been at his best for so long. I don't trust him. What's that, sorry?
So that's a good point.
Yeah, I just don't trust him to be at his... Because I remember before the World Cup just gone, I was like, start Lingard over Dele Alli, because Dele Alli's been... So I think starting Grealish, but he never plays under Southgate because they don't like him, I don't think.
I think Henderson needs to start. Henderson should be the main one. And
when
then
does Henderson leave? Like, when do you think Henderson gets dropped out? When do you think he gets dropped out of the team? When eventually someone is better than him who will come along. When eventually,
a few more years, I think.
I mean, some of our midfielders are more technically gifted than Jordan Henderson, but they don't bring what Jordan Henderson brings.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, go on.
It was a free kick from the halfway line, and Lloris had to struggle there. His feet were looking wobbly. Sorry.
It's all right. Look at Liverpool's midfield. Technically on the ball, Henderson's not their best midfielder, but he is the most crucial midfielder. So I do believe Henderson has to be there.
Before Josh has a fit, because we're all back still in here. I'm joking, by the way, Josh.
No, I was just thinking about my midfield three would have been Henderson, Grealish, Maddison, but Southgate sees Grealish as a left winger, not a cam. So I would have then said Henderson, Ali, Maddison. When Ali is on his day, he can be absolutely incredible. But as you said, the thing is you can't trust him now because he's not played enough to be trusted.
Man was the same if we're getting him on prime form.
He loves a DM, though. He loves a double DM, does it? Just Southgate.
Is Maddison on best form? Because we saw when Vardy got injured, Maddison's play decreased because them two seem to have some sort of telepathic connection. And I haven't seen enough from Maddison for the second half of the year. It's a lot will change. Someone will emerge this year in the Premier League that we don't know of now. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see then.
When he was playing Ross Barkley on it, and Ross Barkley kind of played well for England, played a bit shitty for Chelsea, and nobody really knew why he picked Ross Barkley. To be fair, I think for me, I'd go with Henderson, Grealish, and genuinely no idea because the other player could be one of about 4 or 5 players. And I don't really rate any of them.
As long as it's not Harry Winks, it's fine.
I think if Calvin gets a run in the Premier League and he does well for Leeds and then gets some time for England, then maybe Calvin. But I'd put Declan Rice over Calvin first because I think Declan Rice deserves a shout.
Oh, Declan Rice. I didn't even think it. If he has another good year.
Yeah, the thing is then you can even go even further and say in a year's time, what's Jude Bellingham going to do at Dortmund if he has a fantastic season? Is he going to stay with the under-21s or does he maybe get a call-up? He's one of those, as you perfectly said, in a year's time, it could be very different. There could be an English player that comes onto the scene like that.
Well, look at Mason Mount. Where's he going to fit in now they've signed Ziyech, Havertz and all them?
He won't be in England squad next year, I don't think.
Tammy Abraham, he was in the England squad back in the day, but now they've got Werner and Havertz can play up top. I don't think he's needed as much.
Because you think Callum Wilson, Jamal Lewis could have a good time at Newcastle. They could get called up in a year's time.
Jamal Lewis is Northern Irish, so I doubt he's getting called up for England.
He's not getting called up for England, but someone called Jamal Lewis might get called up for England.
Save yourself on that one.
I've heard David Wheater's doing training camps for England. The 34-year-old's going to tear it up.
I'm guessing all of your games have started now.
5 minutes
in. We are indeed. So I'll let you guys go. But it's an interesting talk because, as you guys said, in a year's time, it could be completely different. But we'll bring you guys back when the goals do go in to see you guys a bit as Roman bops to the game of France and Croatia. Maybe there's music on. But no, honestly, right now the scores, they are the same. No goals have gone in these first couple of minutes. But it's an interesting talk because, as we said, England team could change up a hell of a lot in the next year. I mean, the likes of Bukayo Saka, another player that could squeeze his way into the squad over time if he can have another fantastic season. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's another one that for Arsenal has been absolutely incredible, who could maybe get a call up in the future as well. But for now, of course, who knows what's going to happen. We have had a goal as we've just left KD. We're bringing it back. There's been a goal. Who's it to, KD?
Oh my, what a goal. It's Belgium. It's 3-1. It's Mertens. It is absolutely fantastic. It's De Bruyne again. It comes to him on the edge of the area. He fakes a shot from his right foot to his left foot. And he plays a fantastic pass to Mertens, who returns it to him, who just taps it back to Mertens, takes a touch round the defender and finishes. It's such a lovely goal. And it's a joy to watch Kevin De Bruyne play football, I'm not going to lie. 3-1 Belgium, 50 minutes in.
He's just a naturally gifted player. Thank you very much, KD. 3-1 to Belgium now. Lovely opening first couple of minutes for Belgium. Now they've got a foothold in this game. Could it be damage limitation tonight for Iceland? Of course, they were 2-1 at half-time. Now it's 3-1. It's going to be a long 45 minutes with the sounds of it in that game. But we are about 5 or 6 minutes into some of the matches. Apologies about that. Denmark 0, England 0, as it stands right now. A few tackles flying in. Martin Braithwaite's gone into the book for a tackle on Harry Kane, obviously trying to slide it in, show who's the better striker between him and Kane. Of course, it's Braithwaite. But there's another tackle that's gone in on Trippier this time. Just seeing who that is. It's Norgard, the Brentford midfielder, who was absolutely hacked down Kieran Trippier. That's going to be a yellow card as well for him. So a couple of bookings in these first opening minutes for Denmark right now. Trippier on the floor. Hopefully he'll be all right here as we do get on into the second half of these games. But good start for Belgium. 3-1 up now in that match. As for England, of course, still 0-0 in this game. It is the only big game out of the 4 big matches tonight that hasn't had a goal, although, of course, Montenegro game hasn't had a goal yet either. So we're still waiting 2 more goals. If we can get in those games, then at least we've had a goal in every game tonight. But Trippier still down here. Hopefully he's all right. The right back of Atletico Madrid playing as a left back tonight because Gareth Southgate didn't call up any left backs. Don't know why he didn't, but, you know, Gareth Southgate's decision there. Just looking at the tackle from Norgard, it's not a good tackle at all. He's absolutely clipped Trippier there, and it wouldn't surprise me if maybe here there was a substitution. But to be quite frankly honest, I have no idea who we'd substitute on. I guess, of course, you could bring on another left mid here, try and change it up a little bit. KD's put Castells, has gone down injured in the Belgian game. Hopefully that's nothing too bad there. Of course, Belgium 3-1 up right now. Don't want to lose their main goalkeeper because as far as I'm aware, I don't think Courtois was called up. So I think, if I'm correct to say, on the bench for the Belgians in goal would be, I think it's, they've got one of the younger goalkeepers out there. Oh, it's Davy Reich, 26-year-old goalkeeper from Ghent. So if they do need to make a change, of course, they do have another goalkeeper on there, but they haven't got someone like Courtois who could come on in that match, although you don't really need to bring Courtois on when you're 3-1 up, do you? But 55 minutes in here, going to change the clock once again. Still 0-0 between Denmark and England, although Denmark got a bit of defending to do here. Jorgensen getting bullied by Harry Kane. And I think the referee's given another free kick here to England. It's just very feisty first 10 minutes from Denmark here. In fact, just looking at it, he's given a free kick there to Denmark. Harry Kane with the foul on Jorgensen on that one-on-one. Good decision there from him. Absolutely spot on. And KD's put Mignolet has come on, actually, for Belgium. So they do have 2 goalkeepers on the bench. So Mignolet's come on. Castells has come off, which is the right decision, of course. No point trying to make change, keep any injured players on the pitch with 45 minutes left to go. So Mignolet's come on of Club Brugge. As for another change, Balderson has come off for Iceland. Halfredsson has come on in that game. So a couple of changes between both sides. But there's a bit of defending here for England to do. Denmark coming forward for their first opportunity of the game. Although Calvin Phillips can clear his lines. Good defensive work there for the midfielder for England. Kenny's put Castells cut his lip up and completely not good. Hopefully he'll be all right there. Not a nice injury, but he should be okay to play for Wolfsburg when the Bundesliga starts up again. But Denmark are coming forward here. Lovely run from the left back. Good tackle from Joe Gomez to clear his lines. And that was a great opportunity for Skov to lay that into the box. It was a low ball, but Martin Braithwaite, he was in the middle there. And the right connection could have potentially seen Denmark take the lead in this match. Still 0-0 though. And it looks like we could be going to 0-0 with 40 minutes to go. It just doesn't feel like anything's going to happen in the match. It's so slow right now, although it's not slow in Rowan's game because it's 2-1 to Croatia. But there's been a goal. Is it an equaliser for Croatia or a France 3-1 up?
It's an equaliser, Josh. And Brekalo has somehow scored. I don't know how he's done it. He's wormed his way past 3 French defenders here. The ball comes deep. I think it's from Dejan Lovren. And Brekalo's, he's marked by Mende, by Longley, by Upamecano. He sits Mendy down. He sits Longley down and slots it past Hugo Lloris. I don't know what Mendy trips over his own feet. Brekalo sort of falls but sticks out his leg at the same time with a really lovely finish. It's 2-2. Now, French
What a game.
happen up there because they've allowed Brekalo to run past one defender and score past two.
Fair play to him. Just as you thought, Brekalo, you thought, what's going on? Why has Rebic come off? He's done an absolute beauty.
The Croatian manager knows more than me.
But he's 2-2 in that game.
And that is Brekalo. He is... Okay, it's fine.
It's all good.
I just like to say that Upamecano has had an incredible game marking Perisic.
Good game so far, though.
Yeah.
2-2 right now in that match.
Sorry,
Vida's gone down.
Look at his hair.
He's coming up.
Look at him.
I like Vida.
What's the point of wearing a headband, mate? You're receding so much.
Well, he's 2-2 that game right now. Thank you very much, Rowan. Good game so far, that one. Domagoj Vida coming on. Absolute legend of a man. Love Domagoj Vida. He just looks like a brute of a centre-back and, of course, plays for the Besiktas as well, which is a brute of a team in itself. But what a player. 2-2 in that match right now. Plenty of time for somebody to take the lead in that game. Good match. 2-2. Wish I had that. But now let's put Hugo, please stop the balls right now. Obviously, he must be watching the French game. And he did say before at halftime when we talked about Faroe Islands, all the Olsens, so many Olsens when, of course, they all scored in that Faroe Islands game against Malta. We are getting towards the 60th minute of tonight's final set of UEFA Nations League fixtures. If you enjoyed it so far, do leave a like and a subscription. As always, it's not just watch-alongs we do on the channel. We have plenty of podcasts as well. We have an episode of The Wrestling Corner, which was available this morning. You can watch that on the channel. After our watch-along, Sam and Rowan talked about all of the latest in the world of wrestling, so keep your eyes out for that. Of course, the next episode is next Tuesday morning. Wednesday, we have the Top Corner podcast, which is back on the 16th of September. That's our first episode, and then the first main episode will be the week afterwards when we go into the brand new format. So keep your eyes out for that. And then Thursday, we're going to have the tier list as England are in here, and Harry Kane hits the ball straight at the goalkeeper, and I think he's been flagged as offside, so it's all right. Waste of a chance, just like this whole game in general. But on a Thursday, we've got the tier list. It's going to be KL and KD, of course, KD's show. We're going to be doing the Bundesliga tier list, so keep your eyes out for that as always. And then Friday, we have the NFL Corner, of course, the NFL season coming back. It'll be fantastic to see what happens there. First game on Thursday night, but Kieran L and Will, they'll be live on Friday for the NFL Corner. Looking forward to the season ahead. They've waited 4 months for this, and finally it kicks off, which is absolutely fantastic for them. But we've got to change. We've just talked about Mason Mount. He has come on the pitch. Jadon Sancho has come off. So we've got half an hour left. Can Mason Mount just bring something to this game right now? Because I just wish I just put a video on YouTube of somebody just watching paint dry on a wall, because that'd be more fun than this game right now. Not really any opportunities in this second half at all. The most fun I've had is watching the slide tackle on Trippier. Not because I don't like Trippier, it's just it was something happening in this game. But I don't think we'll see Calvin Phillips on the pitch for much longer either. I do feel like we'll see a few more changes coming up in the next couple of minutes for England as they try and nick a winner in this game. Of course, they left it quite late against Iceland. In fact, it was the 90th minute when they scored that penalty. Very lucky that Iceland didn't equalise in that match, but still 0-0 right now in this game. And on the 60th minute, we can see the scores on the bottom of your screen. Belgium 3-1 up against Iceland. France 2, Croatia 2. Cyprus 0, Azerbaijan 1. Sweden 0, Portugal 1. Absolute stunner of a free kick from Cristiano Ronaldo. Luxembourg 0, Montenegro 0. One of the only games that's goalless tonight, alongside Denmark versus England. And then San Marino 2-0 down to Liechtenstein. Harry Kane going for a long-range effort from just outside the box, deflected off the foot of Sterling. And it's been flagged as an offside, of course, because it has hit Sterling in the build-up. So another opportunity goes wide there. And as I said before, only 2 games right now that haven't had goals in them. That is the Montenegro game and the England game. And, well, just really been poor so far in this match. It feels like a very dead game. And it's a shame because, of course, these are still being played at pre-season level right now. It's not been the most enthralling of matches to watch in the world. But hopefully, when we do come back, the first game England do play is Belgium at Wembley. So that might actually be a good game of football, at least this time. It'll probably be a little bit more competitive than the last 2 times we played Belgium at the World Cup in 2018. But that should be a great game of football to watch. And as I said before, other games to look forward to when we do come back for the Nations League in the middle of October. Spain, they're facing Switzerland. Croatia against Sweden. Germany, they've got a big game coming up as well. France take on Portugal. That's a really good match. Germany I've got a game against Switzerland. Some good matches on there as well, smaller matches as well. If you like your smaller games, Hungary against Russia, that's a decent match on paper. Poland against Bosnia again. So there's a couple of decent matches on there. But do keep your eyes out for the next match day, which we'll do the goal show for in a couple of weeks' time. That is in, of course, October. Middle of October that will be. But in the meantime, we've got more watch-alongs to come. So do subscribe as always. 6 away from 700 subscribers. But 62 minutes in, 0-0, Denmark. Right now with possession in the defensive half of play, which feels like I've said about 100 times over tonight. Doesn't really seem to be much at all happening right now in this game. But as put Dyer at left back, Mourinho must have spoke with Southgate. Honestly, if I was just a club manager right now watching this, I would be absolutely disappointed that a player like, the big stars like Kane and Sancho and that have gone out to play in these games because they're just been so dull, just nothing happening at all. But there has been something happening between Sweden and Portugal. Well, last time we checked in with Kieran, Portugal's gone absolute barnstorming for a free kick from Cristiano Ronaldo, and Sweden were down to 10 men. Have Sweden maybe had an opportunity to get back into it, Kieran?
No, it's Portugal, and it wouldn't have been as good as the first goal, but it would have been a lovely one, to say the least. So Guedes is on the left-hand side. He lays it off to his full-back partner, Guerrero, whips the ball in. Bruno Fernandes with great movement in the box to get in front of Helander. Does a nice little side flick with his left foot, side of the foot, and it just hits the bar and goes over. It would have been a lovely goal. Not as good as Ronaldo's, but still nice from Bruno.
Not too bad there. Could have been another nice goal, as Kieran said. Still 1-0 to Portugal. Sweden down to 10 men. Thank you very much, KL, for the update. And we've had another chance in the game between France and Croatia. 2-2 right now in that match. Great game of football. But who's had that opportunity? Rowan.
Croatia could have made it 3-2. Kante is coming off Camavinga, and Giroud is coming off for someone. But the chance Vlasic wins the ball, gets the ball outside of the wing from a Croatian free kick, and he whips in a lovely curved ball, and 4 Croatian players are unmarked in the box. It's Perisic at the back post, collects it, hits it on the volley, it skims over the crossbar. Ben Yedder's going to come off for Giroud. But France are looking shaky now at the back, with 4 players are absolutely in open, all on side. But the 2 subs for France could make an impact.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Nervy first 15 minutes of the second half for France right now. They were 2-0 at half-time. Of course, Croatia did actually take the lead first in that game. They were 1-0 up at the beginning from Lovren, but it's 2-2 now. Brekalo, the substitute, scoring fairly early on into the second half, but it's still 2-2 right now. We've got a free kick for Denmark, 35 yards out. Christian Eriksen is standing over this. I can see him hitting this one. Ronaldo scored a storm of a free kick tonight. Can Christian Eriksen do the same? The referee just organising the wall. 2 in the wall right now, and Eriksen's going to take it. He hits it, and I think it's just come through my house because it's gone into row Z and out of the stadium in general. Certainly was nowhere near what Cristiano Ronaldo did tonight for Portugal. Really poor there, and it's kind of summed up the match so far. Disappointing from Eriksen. You think a player like him and his quality would do much better. Of course, probably one of the more fitter players in the side, actually, played for Inter Milan in that Europa League final just 2 weeks ago. So he obviously won't have to have as much training as the other players because he's played a fair few couple of games before others have. So I expect him to stay on for a large period of time tonight. But talking about the future of football, the Nations League finishes up tonight. We do get into club football very shortly. Some pretty decent games to come over the weekend to start us off. As I said, there probably will be a watch-along at the weekend, but England are coming forward here. It's Harry Kane on the left wing trying with all of his pace there to get through on goal, tries to cut in, but great defending from the back from Jorgensen, who's able to clear his lines, and we've had a goal. It's 2-2 in the game between France and Croatia. Now it's not. Who's taking the lead, Rowan?
And it's France. It's Dale Upamecano. Cross comes in for France, and Upamecano wins the header. Livkovic can't do anything. I think he gets a hand to him. It's from a corner. Griezmann whips it in. And I think it's Lovren loses Upamecano, and it's a great header by Upamecano. Great power, great direction. Puts it to the bottom right. Livkovic could have done better. Again, I think Livkovic actually moves it further to the right of the corner. He uses instead of his left hand, he uses his right hands to save it when the shot's to his left. And Upamecano gets a goal. It's a great header. A lot of power, which probably puts it in the back of the net. Will the fixture not been able to stop it? But yeah, 3-2. This game's getting tasty.
What a game. I mean, still time, 25 minutes left to see if there can be any more goals. 5 goals in that match. Thank you very much, Rowan. Hopefully we get some more goals in that game. There's been another change in the Belgian match. Thorgan Hazard has come off. Verscheren has come on for Belgium. Probably butchered that name. Perisic has come off as well for Croatia in their match. So a few changes across the board in the games that we're watching tonight. But yeah, some big club games coming up in the next couple of days. The Championship, Watford taking on Middlesbrough on Friday night in the Championship. Might actually do a watch-along for that, actually, because it's a fairly good game in the Championship to start off. And then, of course, I think the other watch-along might do Huddersfield, they're not in the Premier League. Liverpool taking on Leeds, which is at 5 on Saturday. Might do watch-along. Let's keep your eyes out in the meantime for the watch-alongs that come up maybe at the weekend. There won't be one on Sunday, but there could be one on Friday and Saturday to kickstart the season. And then there'll be a little bit of a break before we come back with a brand new revitalised watch-along, something a little bit different. Of course, we're going to change them up very slightly, but nothing too massive, just going to change some things that would make it look a bit more professional. But England are here, through on goal here. Poor touch from, I think it was Jadon Sancho. Sorry, not Sancho, Sterling. Lofted into the box towards Harry Kane at the back post. And, it should be a goal, Harry Kane. That's really poor. He's towards the bottom right. It was Mason Mount with the ball into Harry Kane now on the left-hand side towards the corner flag. Lofted towards him. Harry Kane just towards the near post on the right-hand side. Lovely cross into the box from Mason Mount. Harry Kane should be scoring that. Poor opportunity there. That's wasted. But good opportunity. Couple of good chances in that match. But yeah, 68 minutes in here. Still 0-0. I have aged about 50 years in the process. I have 2 wives and a kid, and it's still 0-0 in this match right now. I'm actually just looking at Trippier. He's got a black eye, which is a real shame for him. Got a bit of plaster over it, which I'm trying to just keep this game lively right now because it's boring. And for any of you who've paid to watch this in the UK, you've paid your hard-earned cash to watch these games. I really do apologise. Go to Sky and try and get your money back because it's just been absolutely shambolic right now. And honestly, if I could do that, KL, I would in a heartbeat. And I would never watch this game ever again. We're 69 minutes in here, 20 minutes left on the clock. Can we get a goal in this match? Because right now we've still only got 2 games without goals. Luxembourg and Montenegro are still 0-0, as is Denmark versus England. In terms of the other games tonight, Liechtenstein still 2-0 up against San Marino. And Azerbaijan still 1-0 up against Cyprus as well. But England coming forward here, a good chance on goal, and it's a good save from Schmeichel. Raheem Sterling, this time with the opportunity. Just have a look at it now here to see what happened there. I think it was a long-range effort. Mason Mount lays it off to Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side, trying to curl it into the bottom left-hand corner, just from the edge of the box on his right foot. Good save from Schmeichel. Was looking to go wide of the goal anyway, but Schmeichel decides to tip it away from his goal. And it's a couple of good testing opportunities for England to try and open the scoring in this match. But we've got a moment in the game that KD is watching between Belgium and Iceland. Belgium 3-1 up in this game. Who's had that opportunity, KD?
Well, we've just had a goal, Josh, and it's an absolutely fantastic goal. It's Batshuayi who's made it 4-1. Just before the moment was Verscheren, the guy that's just come off the bench. He had a shot on goal. Great save by the goalkeeper. But Batshuayi has made it 4-1 with an absolutely exquisite little flick. Similar to Manuel Gulder on the first opening day of the Bundesliga after the break. Very similar to that. And it's 4-1 to Belgium. And still 25 minutes left, I think. Could get worse for them.
Absolutely running riot, Belgium now.
Very.
What a start. Unbelievable. Great game from them. And as for Iceland, they've got to be very disappointed because they had a great opportunity to win the 3 points against England. They were 1-0 up against Belgium. Now 4-1 down. Thank you very much, KD, for the update. Could be coming back to you in a little bit with more goals. Who knows? But thank you very much for now. 4-1 to Belgium. Dominating that game so far. Batshuayi with a goal in that match. A very rare goal for him. We haven't seen a great deal of him in the last couple of months. Still at Chelsea, looking to sign a new contract at the club so they don't lose him on a free next season, which is understandable. But a great player on his day, of course. Had an absolutely incredible time when he was at Borussia Dortmund. But England coming forward here in their game. Batshuayi's actually got 2 in that match. So even better for him. Great performance. And he's always a solid player on his day, Batshuayi, I think. Just never got enough game time at Chelsea, which is a real shame. But I think if he was to go elsewhere, he would definitely bang in the goals once again. I know he had a brief loan spell at Palace where he did all right, got a couple of goals for them, but hopefully he can get back to that goal scoring form we used to know for back at his time, of course, at Marseille. But we are going to have a change for Denmark in this game. Skov is going to come off, I think, here. No, it's going to be Norgård, actually, of Brentford, who's coming off in this match. And it's Tottenham's new Danish midfielder, Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, who's come on in this match. So he's going to be playing alongside the old Denmark midfielder at Tottenham, Christian Eriksen. And talk about Christian Eriksen, I know Bernardo put in the chat Eriksen's free kicks. Absolutely shambolic, honestly, Bernardo. Worst free kick by your country mile he just went for there. Been a change as well for Sweden. Robin Quaison has come on in that game. I'm going to take a guess, maybe Berg's gone off. I'm going to take a guess there. Kieran doesn't know right now, but Quaison's come on. Maybe he's a left midfielder as well, actually, because he can play there. But Højbjerg's come on. Ronaldo is absolutely loving it. He's delighted that Højbjerg's on. And hopefully, maybe he can do something here against England, because, of course, the majority of players in this side he'll be playing against next season in the Premier League. So we'll have to find out what he does here. But we're going to have a free kick for Denmark just towards the halfway line. Maybe an opportunity to whip this into the box. We'll have to find out in a moment. But Chaos Sport feels like Chris Kamara. I don't know, Josh. We'll have to find out in a minute, see who it is. I'm guessing it might be on the wings. If they're 1-0 down, you probably wouldn't take a striker off. But to have a look, not even said of mine who's come off. So we've got no idea. We'll find out in a moment who's come on in that game for Robin Quaison. But 15 minutes left on the clock. Had a fair couple of goals tonight in the matches. In fact, we've had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 goals tonight. Not bad at all. A little bit less than we had in the previous games yesterday. But, of course, still there are plenty of goals. Apart from Denmark and England right now, with 17 minutes left. Looks like it's probably going to end 0-0 with the state of the game. Free Johnson has come off. Bodvarsson's come off for Iceland. Sigurdsson has come off as well. Anderson's come on. And it's Alexander Isak, who's come off for Robin Quaison. So it is a change up top for Sweden as they try and get an equaliser in that game. Still only 1-0, so they could potentially do it. Northern Ireland, they did it themselves. They were down to 10 men in their match, got it back to 1-1. So still potential opportunity, but they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get a point in their group. It'd be a very big point, of course, against Portugal tonight. But 15 minutes on the clock. Denmark 0, England 0. If you are an England fan and you haven't watched this game tonight, you should feel absolutely blessed that you haven't had the opportunity to watch this game because it's been so poor tonight. And I don't know whether Twitter disagrees. I don't know whether Twitter agrees. I don't know whether social media is thinking the same as me, but it's been really, really awful. And set the president's, President how shit England are, to be honest. You know, we talked about at half-time. Was England just good at the Euros or, the World Cup? Or was it just the fact that we had an easy group? And it definitely was the fact that we had an easy group to why we had such a good run. But we've got a goal in one of the games. Of course, we just said a moment ago, Portugal 1-0 up, Sweden down to 10 men. The question is, has Sweden got an equaliser in this match, or have Portugal doubled the lead, Kieran?
No, they haven't. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, and he just is magical. There's a switch of play to João Felix on the left-hand side, and he just passes the ball inside to Cristiano Ronaldo. He's on the edge of the box, around the 18-yard line, and he just looks like he has no backlift, curls it into the opposite far corner, top bins again. He just is a joy to watch. KD says it about De Bruyne. I am blessed to be able to watch this man play football.
He's an absolute... He's just an unbelievable player. He leaves you speechless, and he's left Kyle speechless with the 2 goals he scored tonight. Thank you very much, Kyle. 2-0 to Portugal. I mean, now Robin Quaison feels like a point of substitution in this game.
Well, Quaison's rubbish anyway, so it's fine.
But yeah, 2-0 to Portugal. Thank you very much, Kyle. We could be coming back, of course. Sweden down to 10 men in that match. 15 minutes left in that game. And could be opportunity for maybe Ronaldo to get another hat-trick. He's already scored a hat-trick before against Sweden in a playoff game a couple of years ago. Could do it again tonight against Sweden. Watchalong going mental with that Ronaldo goal, of course. That's now his 101st international goal. Scored his 100th tonight with an absolute cracker of a free kick. If you are on stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription if you enjoyed the UEFA Nations League Goal Show. We're not just going to be doing this for the Nations League, of course. When the Champions League is back, we're going to be doing our own Champions League Gold Show. So if you don't like, BT's Gold Show because BT are showing, you can come and join us on the Sports Corner and watch our Goal Show. It's going to be fun. We're going to be covering every single game live, and well, who knows what's going to happen in the Champions League. Looking forward, of course, to its return in October. But apart from that, we've got other watch-alongs across European football we're going to be doing across all 5 main leagues. So keep your eyes out on the channel and do subscribe as always, because it's not just football content. We have other content on the channel as well related to all sports, including the likes of WWE, F1, NFL, you name it, we've got it. But what we don't have here is goals for Denmark and Sweden. 77 minutes on the clock. It is still 0-0. There's only 2 games tonight that are still goalless. Montenegro game still 0-0, as is the Denmark and England match. And it has been the just most boring game of football in the world. It's just, honestly, I know I keep banging on about the fact it's boring, but it really is so boring. I have to keep telling you it's boring to re-emphasize how boring it's been. Just being thrown in here. Rasmus Falk coming on a couple of moments ago with an opportunity. So Roman said there was potential pen opportunity, but he's not been given in that match. So it's still 3-2 to Croatia. I don't know if it's been given out. He's wafting his arm. I'm going to just join him anyway.
There is a pen.
It has been given.
And it's put away by... I haven't seen the foul because I have my window open and there is consecutive 3 daddy long legs in my room. And so I was trying to get that out. I can tell you the penalty. I think it's... we're just going to watch it now. Sissoko plays a ball into the box. What? It's a handball. I think it's by Brozovic. It comes off Carr. But Brozovic, I think it is a penalty. Brozovic hands is an awkward place, but Olivier Giroud cold as ice, steps up, slots it, bottom left, and France are now 4-2 up. I didn't see the penalty, but yeah, so the penalty is a handball. Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 4-2. You go and sort out the daddy long legs. Griezmann's gone off as well. You go sort out the spiders. There you go. 4-2 to France right now in that game. Giroud, the greatest striker in the world of football, with the penalty there. To put them in the lead, best French striker there will ever be. Who needs Martial, Ben Yedder, Griezmann, Lacazette, you name them. Giroud's just better. 4 goals in that match. Great performance tonight for France. Of course, they were down in that game early on in that match, but now leading and comfortably leading, of course. 15 minutes left on the clock. You'd expect them to go on and win that game now. But talking about maybe going on and winning the game, England are coming forward here. It's Raheem Sterling on the far left-hand side towards the corner flag. 2 defenders on him right now. What can he do here? Lays it off to Trippier. Back to Sterling, who looks like if he goes back to the defenders here, I'm going to get very annoyed. He's decided not to. Back to Sterling again. Now into Mason Mount, who decides to go forward. At least one England player's fought that tonight. Still going, Mason Mount, still going. Mason Mount still going. Into the middle. Good defending at the back. And it's once again the defender, the Norwegian defender, Jorgensen at the back, has had a fantastic game tonight. Done really, really well defensively, and he's able to clear the ball. And Mason Mount there, trying to push forward, have an actual opportunity on goal. But Jorgensen says no, and he's probably been the man of the match, in my opinion, tonight. He's just so good at the back. But we've got 10 minutes left of this game. Do you think we're going to see a goal? If you're an England fan, yes or no in the comments. Probably not, let's be real. Well, we're about 5 seconds away from 80 minutes on the clock. We'll have a look to see if there's any other goals from the games tonight in a moment. But fun. There's a lot of you in the stream tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Really greatly appreciated. I've got some massive matches going on tonight. 6 subscribers away from 700, and been really good night so far, apart from this game. But Denmark are coming forward here. Eriksson trying to get a long ball towards Poulsen. He's able to get the ball down, and it's over the bar. And it really should be 1-0 to Denmark. Well, Yusuf Poulsen, we said about him maybe going long ball tonight towards the RB Leipzig striker. They do go long ball indeed. A slight deflection actually comes off one of the England players. He's just towards the left-hand side of the goal. He's able to head the ball down. He sees the runner Christian Eriksen, who makes a fantastic run through the middle, hits it on the half volley, and credit to him, Joe Gomez is going in for a tackle at the same time, so he just tries to hit it as quick as he can before he gets tackled. But it goes over the bar, and a great opportunity missed there for Denmark to take the lead in this match. But we have had a goal elsewhere. Kieran D is watching the game between Belgium and Iceland tonight. They're 4-1 up as it currently stands. Have Iceland got a goal back, or is it 5 to Belgium?
It's 5-1, but it is an absolutely fantastic goal. And if there's one person that deserves a goal tonight, it is Doku. He has been absolutely outstanding. This left-hand side has worked so well for him. De Bruyne has got another assist. He squares himself up against Bjarnason, takes it onto his right foot and curls a lovely effort home. He has deserved one, and for such a young player, he seems to have such a collected head as he curls that ball in. Everyone's buzzing for him. I'm buzzing for him. 5-1 Belgium. 10 minutes left. And De Bruyne has come off for Vanaken.
What performance, though, from KD? Man of the match tonight?
Yeah.
Good performance from him, indeed. Thank you very much, KD. 5-1 to Belgium now. And as KD said a moment ago, a great youngster, Jeremy Doku of Anderlecht. Pure star talent for the future with the goal in that game. He's a very cool, calm-headed player. And he's got a goal to his name, the 18-year-old Belgian winger. Don't think he'll be at Anderlecht for much longer with how well he's performed over the last couple of months for the club. And his country now, of course, probably his first goal for the national team. We had a change in the Sweden match. Svanberg has come on. Forsberg has come off in that game. So another change in that match. That's Matthias Svanberg coming on in that game, the Bologna midfielder there. But we've got a corner here for England. Can they get a goal from this? It's lobbed in towards Harry Kane, and the ball goes completely over everyone and goes straight back to the England defence, who's going to hit this long here towards Kieran Trippier, and it's hit out of play and out for a Danish throw-in. Just sums up how shit both teams have been tonight. Denmark are better. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Denmark have had a terrible performance tonight, because they've done quite all right, to be fair. It just proves how terrible England have been. It's been awful to watch tonight. Really, really bad. Just doesn't feel like England are going to score, and it feels like every opportunity just isn't going to lead to anything. But we are going to get a change here, and it's a positive change. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is coming onto the pitch for his first start for England, which is great to see with 7 minutes to go. So can he bring something to this match while it's still 0-0? Although Yusuf Poulsen's just gone down with an injury, although he looks like he's going to be okay. So we've got about 7 minutes left in the Denmark and England game to run through the scores on the doors. We are heading towards the 85th minute right now. I'm going to change the time on the bottom of the screen for you. Right now, Belgium 5-1 up against Iceland. France 4-2 against Croatia. Cyprus still 1-0 down to Azerbaijan. Sweden 2-0 down to a double from Cristiano Ronaldo. Two very good goals in that game. Luxembourg 0, Montenegro 0. Denmark 0, England 0. And San Marino still 2-0 down to Liechtenstein, which, to be fair, to be honest to them, is probably quite a valiant performance for a team like San Marino to have not conceded more than 3 goals right now, although there's still time for that to potentially happen in their game. So we're going towards the last couple of minutes of these matches tonight. Denmark coming forward here. There's 6 minutes left to go on the clock. There's calls for a penalty, but the referee waves those penalty calls away. And yeah, it just feels like this one is going to end 0-0, which is a real shame, because it did look like an all right match on paper. But I did say, I either said 2-1 England, or don't be surprised if it ends at 0-0. But the substitute I was talking about, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's coming onto the pitch now. First start for him, being fantastic for Arsenal. Linked with the move to Wolves, but it looks like that isn't going to happen now because of the impressive start he's had in pre-season and in the Community Shield for Arsenal. And now he gets an England call-up and an England start as well, which is great to see, because I do like Ainsley Maitland-Niles on his day. But there's a mistake here at the back for England, and it's a good opportunity for Denmark to score. He's lobbed it towards the path of, I think it was Dolberg, and he goes out of play for a corner. It was Eriksson who tried to get a touch of the ball as well there. It's a poor mistake at the back. Joe Gomez is ball watching, leaves a great chance there for Denmark to come forward. Eriksson screaming for the ball. That is Dolberg. It comes towards Dolberg. Eriksson gets the touch, goes out of play for a Denmark corner. Cristiano Ronaldo has come off. Diogo Jota has come on in the Portugal game. Great performance tonight for Cristiano Ronaldo. But the corner's going to be whipped in here for Denmark. Still bobbing in the box, and now Harry Kane can counter-attack. Is this the opportunity for England to do something? Nearly gave it away. Alexander-Arnold's hit it, long ball, and he's hit it to fucking no one. What's he doing? There's no one there. No one is there. Unbelievable. Alexander-Arnold, he's done Dimitri Payet when he got scared by the bubbles. He must have seen a ghost, because there was no one up top. He's decided to go long ball. There's no one there. Terrible, terrible work there from the fullback, and it leads to absolutely nothing. Honestly, awful game so far. Jesslyn put, how did Ronaldo score? Watched the wrong game. I'll bring Kay Allen in a quick moment, and he could tell you how the goals have been so far, because they were 2 very good goals, weren't they, Kieran?
Yeah, they were absolutely brilliant, and you must have... No, in terms of entertainment, depending on the game you pick, there are more out there. But in terms of individual brilliance, Ronaldo tonight has been on another level. His first goal was a free kick about 25 yards out. He hits it, typical Ronaldo, into the top left corner. And then the other one, he just receives the ball at the edge of the box, no backlift at all, curls it into the top right-hand corner. So if you love a bit of top bins, Ronaldo's your man tonight. He's been unbelievable. And, as we say, hits a century goals. He's closing in on Ali Daei.
It's a stunning record, and with the way that it is, he'll probably keep playing until he hits that record and beats it. But what a player on his day. 2 goals tonight. Thank you very much, KL. Hopefully we'll see a few more goals before the end as we reach the final couple of minutes of these matches. Around the 85th minute in some of the matches, a little bit earlier in others. 88th minute in the Denmark-England match right now. And in the chat, Jacelyn's put Reece over Trent Alexander-Arnold. No cap there. I think we're going to have a goal kick here to England. A few Danish players calling for a free kick there. The referee says no. And hopefully, Ainsley Maitland-Niles can just do something here. Try and bring a little bit of magic onto the pitch with the last couple of minutes left. Because when you actually look at the stats, it doesn't look like a terrible game at all. But to put how frustrating this match has been, the Denmark manager has just launched a water bottle on the floor towards his staff members. So he's absolutely fuming with how this game has played out because they deserve to win this match. They deserve to win it with the way that England have played tonight. It's been awful so far. They've had 9 shots, I think 2 on target from what I've just seen. Let me have a quick look very quickly. Yeah, 10 shots, 2 on target. There's been 3 shots on target overall. It's been a poor game, but there has been a chance. We just went to KL a moment ago. There's been a chance in that Sweden-Portugal game. Let's have a quick look and find out what's happened there. KL, who's had that chance?
It was Portugal again. It was very, very close to being 3. And basically, they countered from Robin Quaison messing up with the ball. And as they countered, Jota had a shot, but it was lofted after it was blocked. And Bruno Fernandes kneed it up to himself. I'm thinking, go on, hit it. Like, in pro clubs, it's not going to go in, but hit it anyway for fun. And he hits it, and it mishits, and it's going in towards the back post. Felix slides. He's just a toenail away, sadly.
Very unlucky indeed. Thank you very much, Kyle. A few more minutes left in that game. 2-0 to Portugal. Sweden down to 10 men in that game. Oh, fantastic. Jack Grealish just come on with 1.5 minutes to go. Unbelievable. Give a round of applause for Gareth Southgate for being the most stupid manager. 88 minutes it's taken for Jack Grealish to come on in this game. He's given the guy 1.5 minutes to come on the pitch and do something. Cheers, Southgate. Greatest manager in the history of football. In fact, he's probably going to get a minute here because I don't think there's going to be a great deal of additional time in this game, to be honest. I don't think I've lost my mind. I just think I'm very annoyed at the fact that he's waited till the 85th minute to bring any players on. It's so frustrating. What are we doing? Vanal's thought, I hope Harry Kane is holding back today and saving it for Everton. I think that's the whole England team. They're holding it back because they just don't care right now. Although England are coming forward here, and it's Harry Kane in the box. He tries to go for goal, and it goes wide of the mark. And it's going to be a corner for England. Slight deflection on the ball there. And there has been a red card in one of the games. Luxembourg down to 10 men in that game against Montenegro. Christopher Martin sent off in that match. So 85 minutes into that match, Luxembourg down to 10 men. Could Montenegro maybe go on and get a winner? You'll have to find out in that one. England tweeted that Grealish came on 13 minutes ago. Did he? I must have not realised. That's how shit this game has been. 9 shots for Denmark in this match, 4 for England, according to these stats. There's going to be 4 minutes of additional time in this game. It honestly proves out, I didn't even realise Grealish was on the pitch. I thought he'd literally just come on. That's the first time I've seen the camera panned on him tonight. The corner goes in, goes straight out of play, but there's going to be another corner here. We saw England in the 90th minute come on, score a goal in that Iceland game. Are we going to see them scoring this one? Let's find out. Corner, going to be whipped in. Come on, England. There'll be limbs in this room just because there's a goal being scored. 5th corner of the match here for England. It's going to be lobbed in by, I think, Trippier. He's going to take the free kick here. Here we go. Lobbed into the box. Still in the box. Not the greatest clearance in the world. It comes towards the path of, I think that was Eric Dyer who hit it on the half volley, but the referee is given a foul in the build-up from Harry Kane, who decides to launch himself at Delaney and push him to the ground, and it's a spot-on decision there from the referee. So we've got a couple of minutes left now in these games. I'm just going to put the 90th minute on the clock. It isn't necessarily the 90th minute in most of the games right now, but it's the 90th minute in this one. A couple of minutes left of additional time, 3 to be precise. To be honest, it's a shame that the referee just didn't put any additional time on and just end this game overall, because As I said, the Danish manager throwing the water bottle at his staff members. He's not happy. And he knows that this was a big opportunity in this match to probably go out there and get something. And Jesselyn put Grealish came on for Phillips in the 76th minute. It just shows how shit this game has been. I didn't even realise he'd come on. But we've got a throw in here. Free kick for Denmark. This is a decent position to do something here. Now, I've said that about 6 times for Denmark, but if they can make something of this opportunity, win it late on, absolutely deserved. Can he get something in this match? Christian Eriksen standing over this free kick. It's going to be lobbed into the box. Everybody's pretty much up for it, apart from the goalkeeper, of course, although it'd be pretty cool to see Schmeichel go up. But Eriksen's going to whip this one in. It's a really good ball into the box, but it's a really shit header from Daniel Vass. And that's very, very disappointing there because he was in a great space, completely unmarked. And I think had he headed that over towards the path of Paulson, could have gone on the back of the net, but he hasn't really adjusted himself there, Daniel Vass, to get himself in the right position to go for the header, to head it towards goal. And he goes over the bar. And frustration's really starting to grow with the Danish manager a little bit more as we have 2.5 minutes left of this game. But if you have enjoyed the watch along tonight, do subscribe. It would be really greatly appreciated. 6 more subscribers to 700. We're pushing to try and get towards the 1,000 mark as fast as we can. But of course, we're going to try and make the best content for you guys and plenty more watch-alongs to come. Going to be a little bit change to the watch-alongs in the future. So keep your eyes out because I'm going to try and make them a little bit more professional looking in the future in terms of scoreboards and things like that. So do keep your eyes out. But England coming forward here. 1 minute, 10 seconds. He's gone around the goalkeeper. Harry Kane's in and he's fucking cleared off the line. What the fuck? How has he fucking cleared that? For fuck's sake. It should be in. Jorgensen, honestly, what a clearance off the line. Jorgensen, I said he was my man of the match tonight. It's a long ball that's hoofed up to no one. It's just shot it up the pitch. Somehow Harry Kane's been able to get to it. Schmeichel's come out of his goal. Harry Kane's there. He literally could have put that into the back of the net, but Jorgensen, the hero, gets it off the line, and that could have saved Denmark from losing all 3 points to England. There's going to be a corner here. How was that cleared off the line? Unbelievable. What a performance from Jorgensen. Lofted into the box. Is the corner to no one. Comes out to Jack Grealish. Come on, Grealish, do something. Is Sterling on the left-hand side. At the corner flag. Looking at Bernardo Rana says one of the managers of the Luxembourg game got a yellow quality. Still more action in that game than there is England, although they're coming forward. He has laid into the box towards Kane. It's cleared. And the referee's given a free kick to Denmark. And Bernardo playing Harry, please. Honestly, so close to going in the back of the net there. I thought it was, but Jorgensen, the hero of the match, the man of the match, in my opinion, has surely saved Denmark's blushes from losing that match to another late England win. But surely that should be it now. Surely the whistle should be blown. 4 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. You would expect the whistle to be blown instantly after this goal kick has been taken. Schmeichel hoofs it long, and the referee blows his whistle. Well, thank the Lord, because it wasn't the greatest game of football in the world. But Denmark, they deserve to get something out of this game. And once again, England nearly left it late to win the match, courtesy of Harry Kane. But Jorgensen, with a goal line clearance there, saves his side from losing the 3 points. And England go home with very disappointing performance indeed. A real waste of time the Nations League has been so far for England. Gareth Southgate looks quite pleased, which is a real shame because these last 2 games have been absolutely shite. But no, overall, great point for Denmark and an absolutely deserved point for them indeed. But we're going to start to get full time across some of the other games. It's full time between Belgium and Iceland. 5 goals for KD in his game between Belgium and Iceland. Great performance for Belgium tonight.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for Belgium. As soon as the Iceland goal went in, Belgium just switched it on and they were absolutely fantastic. Rampant tonight, Belgium. Batshuayi, absolutely class. Mertens was very consistent as well. Doku, absolutely insane. But the man of the match, got to be Kevin De Bruyne. Absolutely incredible. Like, he's so good when you're watching people of his elegance play football. I mean, first half, Iceland would have been happy, I think. Second half, I think the manager will be absolutely devastated.
He will indeed. Poor performance from them. Thank you very much, Katie. We'll bring you back in a moment. Full time in that game. Belgium 5, Iceland 1. Fantastic result for Belgium tonight. It's also full time in the other game between Sweden and Portugal. Sweden, they were down to 10 men. Portugal with 2 goals. It's Ronaldo's night once again, isn't it, Kieran?
Yeah, as it seems to always be when Portugal play and he's in the starting 11. I think the moment they went down to 10 men, I think the game was gone. I think at that point. So, but they still had to do their thing. And as always, Cristiano Ronaldo with 2 moments of pure magic into the top corner, and Portugal will be happy to come away from this Nations League 6 points better off and much better in terms of team's performance.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much. Being back in a moment, Kyle. 2-0 to Portugal tonight. Great result for them. And it is also full-time in the game between France and Croatia. You could say maybe that was the game of the night as well. 6 goals in that game. Rowan, mammoth of a match.
I mean, this first half, I thought Croatia had it, and then France really second half came out and proved why they were the better side at the end of the day. Camavinga, when he came on, had a great showing. Obviously, the youngster, I think it's his first cap for France. Great showing. Upamecano had moments where he looked like the best defender on the pitch. Well, he did. It probably was. Lovren obviously scored that great early goal, but yeah, France's quality eventually overdid it.
Absolutely, indeed. 4-2 win. Thank you very much, Rowan, for the update there. Full time in that match, 4-2. There's one more game still going on in the background, and they've scored in the last minute from a penalty. Montenegro have taken the lead late on in that game. Limbs for the Montenegro fans at 92nd minute. Fatos Berachai with the goal from the penalty spot. And a late winner in that match means Montenegro are now going to take all 3 points. Last kick of the game, that is, by the way, in that match. So the full-time whistle should blow imminently after there. A big win for Montenegro, as I said. They won 2-0 in their last game. Looks like they've now won their game 1-0 against Luxembourg. They were down to 10 men, Luxembourg, in that match, but they've won that game late on, which means tonight's only game who've had a goal was Denmark versus England. So bring the boys back in now for the final couple of minutes. It still is just going on at that Montenegro game. See if they can hold on here. But tonight's game's really good, unless you're me. Very, very boring tonight for me. But overall, the Nations League, first 2 match days back, what have you thought about it overall?
I really think... Go on, Keddy.
No, you've got this, KL. You've got this.
I just think it's really luck of the draw of what game you get. Because there has been some dismal games, but, look at KD's tonight, Northern Ireland's the other night, Rowan's tonight. I do think it might be just the game on that night rather than every game's been crap, every game's been good. I mean, you look back at, other tournaments, there's always a bad game here and there. So I'm not hating on it, but, it was pre-season-esque.
I think if you just take me for an example, the games I've watched Germany play, I've watched Italy play, I've watched Netherlands play, I've watched Belgium play, and I've had 3 0-0s out of all the games that I've watched. I mean, it did get better. 3 1-0, sorry, in the games I've watched. It did get better in the second match day, I'm not going to lie. It did. Maybe it was that question of rustiness and less sharpness for some players.
Absolutely, it could be indeed. Montenegro game is in the 95th minute now, still going. One last game on the night. But there's some big games coming up in the Nations League when it comes back. Just to have a look, of course, some of the matches. First game for England when they come back, as I said before, they're going to be taking on Belgium at Wembley in October. God help us all if we put the same performance in like we did tonight. Ukraine, they faced Germany. Of course, Ukraine got battered against Spain. A lot of work for them to do. Bosnia against Netherlands. Bosnia, great performance against Italy, match day 1. Could they get a good result against Netherlands? Then a couple of smaller games on the side as well. Just looking across the board. Scotland against Slovakia. Russia, Turkey, Serbia, Hungary. So it's a mixed bag. There's a couple of big games in there, of course, because the big sides are playing against each other. And then a couple of smaller matches as well in mid-October.
Josh, will Portugal v France play?
Portugal will be facing France. That is the 11th of October.
What a game.
So big game there. And then to look at a few others at the side, just to see what else is going on. Of course, Belgium, England in match day 4. Looking at the games there, Italy against Netherlands. Again, it's basically just a repeat of the ones that we watched last time. Iceland, Belgium, England, Denmark. So we go back round again with the fixtures. But that's not till mid-October now. So we are done with the Nations League and done with international football for a couple of weeks now. And just to make sure the games are done, is the Montenegro game at full time? It is indeed. Good win for Montenegro there, 1-0 in their match. But club football is back in a few days' time. We'll keep you up to date with what watchalongs are going to be happening. We're going to work that out a little bit later on. So keep yourself up to date on Twitter with when we'll be doing those games in terms of the watchalongs at the weekend. But as for now, boys, Thank you very much for joining us as always. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, Rowan, KL, and KD.
Thank you, Josh.
I'm sorry,
Thank
Josh.
you very much.
The witness.
Yeah.
It was poor. I've lost my mind. I've just gone mental. But no, honestly, thanks for everyone that's been watching. Greatly appreciated. And if you enjoyed the Nations League watch-alongs, do leave a thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. But as for now, have a great rest of your morning, evening, or if you've been out afternoon. I will see you later.
Bye.